Oh, you're... Shoot.
The mics were hot.
You were hot. My bad.
You want to clear anything out?
Sorry about that.
Anything else you want to do there?
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
The YouTube algorithm loves coughing.
Something going around.
You know that?
Does it?
Yeah. It picks up on
It's
it.
authentic.
It's algorithmically authentic.
Those are words. Oh, do I need to do this?
There you go.
I've done this before.
Yeah.
Do I talk to the microphone?
Welcome back to another episode of The Wanger Show.
Another one.
This is episode 347.
The Pokemon today.
Yeah.
What's this guy's name?
Anorith.
It's a Pal World.
Anorith. It's Pal World. Yeah, have we talked about that?
What?
The
Pal World?
knockoff Pokemon game that's going? We'll
we
get to
haven't
that.
talked about it on the show, but I would love to.
What's this guy's name?
Anorith.
Anorith.
Anorith?
Okay.
That's that's a fossil type.
Wow.
Okay.
You get it from a fossil.
Okay. Thanks for elaborating.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that's where it came from.
The opposite of a fossil? Andrew Ghai.
Okay.
I'm getting there, man.
I guess
that's
that
a
was
good
The
transition.
opposite
That was
of
solid.
a fossil. What if I was like, well, if Ken was here, speaking of fucking fossils.
No.
No, just kidding. Love you, Ken. I was just talking to Ken like last week, and he was like, I always tune in like at the most random spots. I hope he tuned in right there, Ken.
Yeah.
Calling you old. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You're not
I tuned
old.
in a little bit to your guys' episode when he was on. Just like it was like
Oh,
a
okay.
month
Just
ago
to see what
now
you're
or
getting
something?
yourself into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Do
was
research,
exactly.
that's
I was
right.
researching,
Fucking
and you guys were
actor right
talking
there.
about
Yeah.
the grueling hours to make our short film.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
And you got, so for those who don't know, we've talked about it a little bit, but Andrew Ghai is in our new short film. Woo! It's a small part, but man,
Playing applause
he
right
did so much for it.
He did awesome.
I don't want to go into too much details,
Oh,
but
I thought we were going to talk through it.
he was a
We're
trooper.
going to do a live table read.
I mean, if you wanted to share your complaints,
Oh,
Anything you want to
Oh, actually.
you can save that for HR.
okay.
Who is his name is Remsen Allard. He's a sweetheart.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Remsen, I'm sure would love to hear from you.
Oh
on that.
yeah. He
Andrew
just-
showed up. He was one of the last people to ask this question. I think he showed up for day 2 of the shoot. It got to the point where I would go up to people and I'd be like, so how bad was the drive to get up here? And I was like, oh, just every answer got worse and worse. And I was like, oh, God, I'm so sorry. But
It took me
yeah.
just as long to get here today as it did to get to Yucca Valley, actually.
See, when we like to work with really good people, we just put them through a lot of shit.
it's a test.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, if she is watching this, is going to be so mad. But like, it was playoff football time,
Oh yeah.
and I think I told you guys because
Yeah.
I got like the smart cruise control in my car.
Yeah.
I was drinking a beer. I was
Hell
watching the game.
We don't
Car
condone
got me
that.
all
We
the
don't
way
condone
there.
that.
Let's watch the Ravens and Browns. Let's see if Flacco can pull this out. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, a game was turned on the TV, and I was like, "Guys, we're working.
Oh,
Yeah.
No
chairs.
no fucking football on my set. This is a hot set. Okay.
I turned that TV back on twice, I think. You turned it off a couple
I
times.
wanted to be
and I
like
was
one of those-
Let's see how the Dolphins did. Like, do anything against the Chiefs.
I wanted to be like one of those 49ers fans that got very upset and just threw a chair at their TV, which was
That shit's
totally
fake,
real.
right? That's got it.
I hope so. They're
Those
setting
happen
men
every
back.
playoff game.
But
man.
like, what are you gaining? Your team just lost the Super Bowl, and
They've
now
got-
you're gonna break your TV.
They've got
Yeah.
nothing else.
Like, I need the interaction.
They've
They
got
need the
no.
clout.
The clicks.
Yeah.
They've got nothing. Like, if my team isn't going to win, why have a fucking TV? Why have a TV at all?
That's how I felt yesterday when the Chiefs caught that touchdown. There was like 6 or 7 of us in my apartment, and it went deathly silent.
all Niners fans.
All Niners fans.
And you are a Niners fan.
I've been a Niners fan since I was a kid.
Oh, God.
You know, I was
so you're like a true fan of a team that's good, unlike some people on the show that are fans of a team just because
dare
they get
you.
a
How
quarterback.
dare you spread these fucking lies?
What do you get? Do you get something? I'll
I-
join. I'll join in at this
He's a
point.
Bucks fan.
I'm a
but-
Buccaneers fan, and him and Brian have been spreading this lie that I was only a fan when Brady joined. When I went through 18 years of no playoff victories, sir.
Andrew,
as a
not
fan.
once has he ever talked about the Bucks
I
until
never, I've
Tom
known
Brady.
Cody for
How
10 years. Never heard him talk
dare
about the
you
Bucks.
said
both
one
right
Right
now.
now,
thing.
I
he didn't
will,
even bring it up. You
Yeah.
did.
I will
He
pull out
was-
my Rondé Barber jersey. I
He
will
was
do
never
it.
a Dodgers fan, but now all of a sudden
Oh, I don't know. You've gone too far. Too far.
he's an Angels fan. So.
Oh, son of a
Okay,
bitch.
so you're happy about the whole Shohei thing. Huh? You want to get rid of him.
This is
Get
the
rid of him. Bring in
7th
someone
show
better.
in a
Yeah.
row.
That's the American way right there. Get rid of him. Hell yeah.
I'm not even going there anymore. 7th week in a row we've talked about Shohei leaving me.
He didn't leave you. You're not part of the team. You're not part of the team.
He left my group chat.
Are you part of, like, when you were watching your 49ers, is it your, like, we could
You
have
refer to
done
them
so
as
much.
we.
Yeah, like, we had a good game last night.
Because I do, and he rolls his eyes whenever I say it.
I won't do it to you because you're a guest.
He'll do it when you leave, though.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. No. I don't know. I think I do say they more.
Okay.
Because I know I'm not on the team. I know.
Sure.
Yesterday, though, like some of the girls that were there were giving us crap because we were all taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you do? Like, what is even happening? We're like, we're thinking. Like, we're thinking really hard right now.
We're scheming right now. We're trying to figure out this defense.
Yeah.
It was
It's tough.
devastating.
It was a very good game. It was throughout the whole thing, just very nerve-wracking.
Yeah. And like the first half, if you weren't like a fan of either team, you might have even said it was a little boring. But for us, like being a fans of the team, I was just like, I was locked in. I was like, everything is going well. We're playing this right. We're not getting ahead of ourselves.
You're up 2 scores at one point.
Up 2 scores.
Yeah.
And then Dre Greenlaw just like gets too excited. That's all it was. Like we've all done that.
He wasn't even playing, right? He just jumped into the field and got hurt.
He was like, oh, let's go. Let's go team.
It's
He
all,
was
I'm
saying we.
telling you.
And then
He's allowed to.
It's all Biden. It's all
so,
part of the plan.
There it is. Yep.
He's in the trees.
Wow.
Sniper! There's a sniper in the trees.
He needed it.
Yeah,
Votes, I guess.
I did feel very bad because going in, I kind of just wanted the Chiefs to win just because I knew it would piss everyone off because not nobody, but everyone's obsessed or either annoyed of like the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift stuff, which none of it bothers me because
they keep winning, so it's like one of those. A lot of things were against them.
Yeah, right. But that was the thing as I was watching the game, and then Purdy, he got a Purdy mouth. What's his name? Brock Purdy.
Yeah. I do a weird thing where I don't say we as much, but I will refer to players by their first name. Like, oh, great play, Derek.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I was like
earlier.
What are you
talking about Derek out there?
Cody and I were talking about the game earlier. I was like, yeah, B had a couple good plays. I was like, B. Who the fuck is B?
You know no B?
No. But no, as I was watching the game and I heard about his story about being Mr. Irrelevant, which, by the way, very mean.
Oh,
NFL.
yeah.
Jesus.
They give him like a jersey that says it and everything.
Yeah. You want to talk about
drafted?
Yeah. You want to talk about Travis Kelce being mean to his coach? You're calling the star quarterback Mr. Irrelevant. That's toxic. That's toxic behavior. That's toxic.
Yeah.
You need to do something. By the way, a draft.
Going back to the draft.
Okay, here we go.
A draft.
He's been on this for a while. Yeah.
Who's Roger Goodell? What's his? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, when I heard about that story about him and then the 49ers just in general were playing so much better. Their offense was crazy.
They had a much better team.
Yeah.
Like overall, they were the better
And then
team.
like in the third quarter at some point, not in the end.
That punt.
There was this moment where you could just like feel that the Niners were starting to like panic or reach or just like they just like started playing uncomfortable, and it felt like that was the same moment where the Chiefs were like, we're just chilling, whatever, we're gonna tie the game soon. It's fine.
I think what it might be is NFL just needs to hire better writers to patch up a couple things for the very end, because that's what I felt like. It felt like
some expectations.
Yeah, like it felt like the season was initially for 8 episodes, but they had to stretch it to 10. So that overtime was that extra 2 episodes.
Yeah, some filler there.
Yeah. So maybe next time, Craig Mazin, like get in there.
Yeah, tighten it up
a little bit.
Do some rewrites.
Yeah. But then even in the overtime, I love how all the players are like, "Oh, I didn't even know the rules of the overtime."
Yeah, I was confused too.
I didn't fucking know because when the last ball was caught for the touchdown, I didn't know the game was over. Right. I thought it was like, I thought they tit for tat. No,
my soul left my body. I couldn't. I had one of those. I didn't like. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize all these things that are happening, and one of them is this weird, like, obsession with my team now. It's like slow. I've been a big fan for a long time, but now I'm like, when I would grow up, I'd be like, why the hell are all these old dudes like freaking out or like crying now?
But you would never break your TV.
I would
never
go that
crazy.
I love my TV. I would not break it.
I mean, this is the best the team has been since you've been a fan, right? Because you were like a young kid in like the 90s, I'm assuming, when they were winning. Or it was the 80s or 90s when they won.
The last one was 94.
Okay.
I was 6 years old. And that was like when I became a fan. Right?
Okay,
that was like, wow, this is a cool thing.
Okay.
And then, then they lost to the Ravens when there was like the whole power outage. I think that was like 2017 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was another one where we're doing great at half.
Yeah.
And then the power goes out. The power goes out. Like, that's right. That's bullshit writing.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then
that's a cop out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it takes us, it's $1 billion stadium. It's going to take us an hour to get the power back on. Okay, whatever, man. And then we lose to the Chiefs in 2020. Which is like right as the pandemic is setting in. And I remember sitting there and I was just like, I was very drunk. And I was like, I don't even care if we win or lose. We're all going to die. Like, that was like, I still remember that.
The game ends and you're like, oh, things can't get worse from here, possibly.
Yeah, right?
You're like, this is literally the worst day of my life.
That was back when I was
Bring it on, universe. Try to top this.
Yeah, bring it. I was calling it Corvid still. I didn't know what it was.
Oh,
that's how
I was
little I knew.
So right when it was first starting, I was at a trivia at a bar, and like that was a question, and I got it wrong. Like, it was like, what's the name that's the disease that's currently going through China or whatever?
Terrible.
And I called it like COVID-17. I was like,
And he's been anti-vax ever since.
Yeah,
I know.
He just
that was the thing on the set I saw.
I mean, listen.
I was testing for vaccination status.
Listen, we do things a very specific way. You know, we don't drink Bud Light. We don't take vaccines.
That's right. This is Michelob Ultra.
They might
American
be.
version.
Are they owned by the same company? Probably. Is it Anheuser-Busch? I don't know. I don't know.
So.
Because that was the funny thing during that Bud Light stuff. People were drinking Coors. It's like
Anheuser
like still.
Anheuser-Busch.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Oh shit! Spit it out.
They just own all of them. Apparently.
I mean, I think they pretty much own all of them. So, and now everyone's back to drinking Bud Light.
I think I've had a Michelob since college.
Like, how long can you be mad at beer?
Right?
Well, like, if
it's
you
like,
drink,
I can't stay mad at you.
Come on, get over here.
Well, the Bud Light thing, obviously, because everyone's just transphobic, but also like Bud Light's just like, ugh. That was always like a drinking game beer. Like I never went to a bar and ordered a Bud Light.
No, I
don't think I've ever
feel
done that.
like
Bud Light
Platinum is
Platinum
different. That's different. I'll give you that.
I almost think less of people when they do.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that's it. That's what you're ordering.
You have look at this.
You got the whole world in front of you.
Yeah, you got this whole thing.
Yeah.
When I first turned 21, the only drink that I knew how to order that I thought that I liked was a Long Island iced tea.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And
delightful.
Yeah, they were fine.
Yeah.
And then, like, at some point in my mid-20s, I ordered one and people laughed at me, and that was the last time
Fucking
I've
assholes.
ordered.
Who are these
That's
Long
me with
Island
rum and cokes. I was like, oh, I guess I'm not supposed to get these.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not too bad. I feel like Long Island iced teas are very much because like everyone has that when they first start drinking.
Yeah.
There was the fan at the Schmoedown, I forgot his name, is the Houston one, who straight up like roasted me because I ordered a rum and coke. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm here for you. Like, come on. Putting on a show for you guys.
Give me that autograph back.
Don't make fun of my fucking drink.
This guy waited in line to say hi to Cody, by the way. No.
It's like, hey, well, I got big fan. What the hell are you drinking?
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Rum and coke.
Yeah.
Waste of my time.
Well, since we're talking about Schmoedown,
Yeah.
let's talk about the first time we ever met each other. Because I
Dude,
feel like I don't know. I'm
know the
curious
first
to hear
time.
your perspective. I don't really remember my first time, but I feel like the first time meeting you on a Schmoedown, and then the first time you meeting us, the first time, I felt like we weren't really meeting each other. Because one, I don't.
What does that mean?
I don't. I'll explain.
Please do.
Thanks.
Kind of confused.
Because I can't remember if like you had came into the Schmoedown like already in character, or you just like popped in. In either way, like me and Cody would have seen you and be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Because we never were told anything, and then you never really met us because we were just like pissed off or busy the entire time, so we couldn't really like be ourselves.
You guys were very busy.
That's what I meant,
Always.
Cody.
Okay. Thank
Audio
you for
only
elaborating.
listeners, by the way. Yeah.
You really kept me going there.
I thought everyone in that entire building hated me, which I feel like was kind of fair. You know, it was like you guys were all doing your jobs, and I would come in there and like scream and drink and talk shit to everyone. And it was like, you know, I was always in character because there were cameras rolling like most of the time. Whenever I wasn't on camera, I would kind of like revert back to who I am normally. Yeah. But it was pretty rare in the early days because it was like, you know, Collider, it felt like when you walked in there, it was like you come in, you do your thing, and you leave. Yeah. You know, and then we started having the showing, like the show days. With the you know, like the crowd was there, and then you know I got to stay. Well, I see exactly. It's like this is how I felt like you guys were always like working so hard and also trying to like navigate through all of these psychotic Schmoedown fans, and I say that with love.
Yeah.
But no, no,
show is over.
The crowd aspect, it was annoying, but it was totally understandable because it made, especially when there were like the bigger events, like the spectaculars.
When you come in on a specified day, though, like on the weekend.
Yes.
When it's Friday, like imagine you're at an office, like at your cubicle, and there's a giant crowd
and
around.
you're literally working 8 hours a day, and then you have to work more, and then there's a crowd, and you have to put on a show.
It's like you're winding down,
Yeah.
and then these people are coming in like jacked out of their minds, including me.
Yeah.
So honestly, I thought you guys hated me for years.
Maybe.
And like I remember Cody.
There might have been. I don't know.
And then like Ben and I did the action guys with Collider.
I'll get to the action
and like
guys,
Cody was always our engineer, but we always thought it was so funny because we were like, Cody just makes sure that we can be seen and heard, and then he pieces the fuck out of it. He's gone. He's got like literally like 7 seconds into the show, we would like make a reference to Cody, and then like silence.
I forgot you guys did that. That's right. You're like, Cody, you there? Nothing.
Never.
To be fair, I think he probably did that with all the shows.
We did that to everybody.
Yeah.
The only show I couldn't do it for was Rule of Two. But
after we did it for like a while,
Yeah.
he would stick around for like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was the biggest victory Ben and I had.
Yeah.
Because our show was so irrelevant there that when the fallout at Collider happened, they were like, "Oh,
That's right.
yeah, you guys can
You could still
keep
film
going
here.
if you want."
Yeah.
They're like,
Forgot
they're all
about
like,
that,
"Who
yeah.
are
I
these
feel like there could have
guys?"
been there's probably a lot of bonding going on too during that era.
The Action Guys was great because like you guys would come in, you do your show, and the walls at Collider were very thin. Very thin. So you guys would do your intro, which was a thing of beauty, by the way. I have a soundbite of it later, where you guys you'd say, "I'm Ben Bateman, I'm Andrew Ghai, we are the Action Guy," and it was beautifully synchronized. It was wonderful, and it got to the point where we were legit looking forward to it every week when you guys would walk in and it would start. And there was one day, like I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to clear the air in case this was on your mind. But there was one day
Probably wasn't.
where I know it's been in my head for 5 years now.
Never thought of
Never
that.
thought about this.
Fantastic. I haven't been able to sleep. Okay. There was one day where you guys did it, and this fucking guy and Frank, I believe, walked into the booth and gave it like a loud standing ovation after you guys did. You're like, "Whoa!"
Yes.
And then I remember like you guys like were like, "What the hell?" And I think one of you were like, "Oh, they're probably making fun of us." And I was like, "No, we're not. We're genuine fans of this intro. It's a thing of beauty." I don't know how you guys were able to sync up that well. It was
That
beautiful.
makes me so happy.
Yeah.
We worked on that.
Yeah.
We would just hang out at each other's houses, just yelling it over and over and over.
You basically harmonized, man.
I'm trying to find it.
brought the world together.
I
What?
had a video in my phone for the longest time of, I think you were out one day, and I had to do the intro.
For the Action Guys?
For the Action Guys.
Wait,
and
what?
I recorded it with Remsen, and we both like celebrated. But I don't know
Wait,
if I
you
have
both
it.
recorded the actual vocals for it?
No. So they came in for their show.
I thought you guys did the
No.
show. Okay.
And
I'm so
you
confused.
were out of town, or maybe Grant was born. I can't
Maybe I had a
remember.
kid,
Maybe,
whatever
I don't
happened.
know, whatever
Yeah,
that
yeah, it's not
bullshit
important.
was.
Not a real
Yeah.
But I recorded me and Remsen going like, "Yeah," but I don't know if I have it anymore. It might be in
I
my.
remember you saying that.
It might be in my folder of all the stuff that I kept from Colette. That I didn't
tell
keep
Ben
from.
this. I'm gonna show him this clip. He's gonna be so excited.
I'll have to find it. If it's not in here, I'm pretty sure it's in like one of my hard drives with all my Collider stuff that I definitely.
We'll
don't
pause
have.
for a second while you go through all your hard
we'll
drives.
wait.
Figure this out. Yeah.
No. I have to hook into another one. It's
I love
it's
doing
a whole
that show
thing.
there. It was super fun. I like miss that era of having opinions about movies and like saying things because now I feel like if I ever have an opinion about a movie,
Careful.
Exactly.
Careful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna have one right now.
Well, like I think it's also you probably have to, or at least you'll want to strike a balance because I think we feel the same way too as filmmakers. And you as an actor, you probably don't want to go on shows and just shit on movies and stuff anymore. So it's whether it's you understand what the process is of filmmaking in general, or if it's like, well, fuck, what if I work with that person one day? I don't want to say stuff,
For
you know?
sure.
But I still think there is a balance to having a conversation about a movie, even if you didn't like it, or if you did like it, without being like, ugh, a girl in Star Wars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's an approach to do it.
Well, it's like this whole like Twitter has just made people feel
X.
like they can
X
excuse
now,
me.
Andrew.
My
Please,
apologies.
strike one.
All right, there it is.
X1. Just wait till you get to 3 X's.
Then what
Go to that
happens?
website. We're gonna put out an X video.
People like speak in mic drops.
Yeah,
Like they all, and I'm like, I don't speak like that. Like
There's,
I
like,
don't
no
want to have a
nuanced
conversation.
conversations,
Yeah,
yeah.
not at all. It's just
Yeah.
like, how dumb can I make this guy sound?
Yeah.
And there is some fun to that.
Yeah, and there's obviously like a platform for that. Like if people go super hard in, I joke with Cody all the time. We should just go super negative. Who cares? Just go.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to believe in it. Just
Yeah.
be part of the grift.
Yeah,
just make that fucking
I feel like
money.
People definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But that's just like, I see that stuff. I see those thumbnails, and it's just like, I'm just tired looking at the same.
I can't fake one of those faces on the thumbnails.
Like the soy boy.
Like,
yeah,
I can't fucking do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You have a soul.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Give it time. It'll go away. But
eventually, yeah. But yeah, no, those were definitely different times, and also I think like the sort of landscape of movie world or conversations that was going on. It felt like it was that at that time, and now, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't pay attention to it that much anymore. Like, it doesn't seem as present to me, because back then it was like literally my job.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it was a lot of people's jobs.
Yeah.
Like and like the studios and the Colliders and the Screen Junkies and the XYZs of the world. There were so many of these places, and then you talk about another thing in the pandemic. It felt like, for better or for worse, I don't want to be negative, because I know there's a lot of people out there that got their platform during that time.
Yeah.
But it felt like once the pandemic happened, it was like everyone's like, oh, I have a webcam. Oh, I can buy this Logitech like $89 webcam and like make my own show. And then it was like thousands of new shows came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone had opinions, and it was like, well, how do I make my show stand out? And it was and then I just got, I got beaten down by a lot of things during the pandemic, but that was like one of the things that, like, my love for healthy movie debate and conversation kind of like, I guess, dissipated. Like, it's kind of sad. I still like talking about movies, but like the moment where even like Ben, like, because he's still kind of like, when we're talking about something, like, well, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Yep, fine.
It's just like, a yes or no. Is it good or not? Just no, I totally get that, and I think maybe even during the pandemic, trying to find new ways to talk about movies, and especially when a time when there was no movies coming out. I mean, when it went down, like me, Cody, and Brian, we started doing like 3 streams a week. And not just like we did the podcast, but then we played video games on Wednesdays. We did movie commentary on Fridays.
Did you guys do it all in here, like the 3 of
you?
you?
No, it was
remote.
It was
all
remotely.
Okay. Yeah,
which was fun to learn how to figure all that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. First it was Skype, and then it was
StreamYard.
Yeah.
You guys do that?
No. You know, the thing is, like, I noticed so many people doing StreamYard, and I just didn't like it. I know it was very easy to use. I've used it before on other people's shows and stuff, and it's very convenient because you don't have to really do much of anything. But I like to have the freedom of changing stuff up. So we utilized OBS, integrated with Zoom, and we made our own graphics and stuff. Like, we were doing like golf streams, Switch streams, and I like made specific graphic. Like, our baseball streams that we did were so much fun because Cody would be playing
video game baseball. We're not going to actual fields.
No.
Which I still want to do, but
we as a team, yes. Like Cody would be playing Ken, Ellis would be commentating, and I would just be live switching, and it was so much fucking fun because people in the chat were doing the wave and stuff. Like, it was so awesome. So there is a bit of like, I do miss a little bit of that. Obviously, I'm
there's a nostalgia for that terrible time. Right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad we're out of a pandemic. I'm not saying yes. I'm not all for it.
What I'd give to go back.
Yeah. But what I was gonna ask, like, going back to Schmoedown, when did your time kind of end? Was it during like the pandemic? Because I know there was a lot of Zoom shows.
Yeah, because like at the end of Schmoedown, like when Schmoedown actually ended, I was on the desk, which I really liked.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Because
you do hosting for
I've done esports commentary, play-by-play, and like color commentary for going on 7 years now, right? So it was like, that is like a real skill set.
Schmoedown. Does it? Has Schmoedown been around that long?
I think Schmoedown early
10
times
years.
were
technically
before that.
Technically, it was 2014 when we first.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like, but as a performer, I had my run with Team Action, and I had like, my singles match against Dan, but then like I lost to Roka after that, and it was kind of like, I never liked singles that much. I never cared that much about the trivia. I loved the show. Like, that was what I always wanted to do, which is why Teams was great, because I could always be the people that were smarter than me. Like, Ben I'd rely on later on, Drew McQueenie. He's obviously brilliant. And then Ethan Irwin, who's also a great dude, a great producer. So like, that was the thing that I love. But then, Drew and I went on our run, and Ben and I went on our run, and I got very close to a championship match, but I never got there. I never was able to win one.
I can tell you it was rigged.
I know.
No
Tell
idea.
me about it.
No idea.
And then
Talk about a bad script. NFL or Schmoedown? No.
Schmoedown, it is rigged. No,
maybe. No.
So all there are these
I'm
people
kidding.
are just sitting there like,
I have fucking no idea. No, it is not.
no, it wasn't, because I would have won if it was.
Yeah.
Christian, I was bringing in a lot of views at one point, you know, like, and I feel like I would have been a good guy to rig it for, but during the pandemic is like when the competing stopped for me, because like it was already so rough.
Yeah.
And then during the pandemic, I went on Deranged, because it was like Dastardly Drew was my thing, as the bad guy on Team Action.
Yeah.
And then I went to Deranged Drew, which was like this dude that had lost his mind during the pandemic. And I was actually kind of losing my mind. I went out and did like filming with my phone on the streets, like all this crazy shit. And then I remember playing a match. I think it was the match with Irwin. And we lost. And then you just like sit there, kind of like yesterday, and you turn off your camera. And then I'm like, I was this crazy character. I was like yelling and like losing my mind. And I put so much effort into this, and I just lost. And now there's no one here. There's no one to go out and get a drink with. There's no one to celebrate with. There's no, like, my teammate is probably like, that team is probably done.
So usually what me and Cody do, we just go home.
Yeah. But it was so depressing. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, man. Like, I don't want to compete anymore. And then going to the desk for the last 2 seasons, I loved. I loved it. Being there with Ellis. Like, Ellis is such a pro.
Yeah.
He's so funny. And like, you know, I just like hanging out with the dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like, you know, I wrote it all the way out to the end. I still love Schmoedown. I'm so grateful for it. But like, if it ever came back, I would want to be on the desk.
Yeah.
I did one return to the fray with like a Team Action reunion, which was really cool, really fun. But like, if I could just be on the desk and call matches, I'd be very much happier with that.
Yeah,
it was devastating to lose.
You're a performer, and I mean, on the desk, you obviously have to ask questions and stuff. But at least you can go back and forth with Mark, because Mark's commentary has always been hilarious. Because Christian was usually like the straight guy, and then Mark as like he'd be counting down, and then Mark would just have like okay, you know, like he'll make his
joke.
Yeah, he'll make just make like his little jokes in there, you know.
Yeah, we would joke together, which was super fun, and then also I got to like hype things up, like, from a previous competitor's point of view.
Yeah,
you know, and so that was kind of how it ended there, and then it ended.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. I mean,
who knows?
Yeah, you never say never. But
do you remember? I think it was your big Dan upset match or whatever. You came into the booth and it was just me and you in there, and you were just like, "No one thinks I'm gonna win." You were like, you were like all like bummed. And I remember like I connected with you there, because that was me during my lawn match from like a few years before that or whatever.
I thought you were gonna be like, "That's me in my life."
Also, but I mean, like, no, it's gonna be all right, dude. It's fine. Just go out there, have fun. And then you went out and fucking won the damn thing.
Dude.
I was like, hell yeah.
Is that when you jumped on the desk?
That was when I jumped on the desk. Yeah.
See. On a normal, because that would have been 2019 or 2018.
2018,
because that's when we were in the warehouse, like the parking garage, basically.
Yeah, the thin walls.
The thin walls.
The action guys enjoy. Yes.
Had that maybe have been in the other space in like the first building, maybe I would have lost my mind. But I don't even think at that time I had a chance to lose my mind, because Mark did it for me. That was the closest, or the most frustrated or angry from Ellis that I think I'd ever seen.
I forgot.
Oh, from when I jumped on the deck.
Yeah. Because that was like a quick. I mean, hey, look, it's sports. You're in the moment. Stuff happens. Sometimes you yell at your coach and accidentally bump into him. Shit happens.
Who knows?
Shit happens.
That doesn't look weird at all.
No,
props
not at all.
to Reed for not falling down, though, man. I thought
Oh,
he was like 70 years old.
Great equilibrium.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah.
And then I didn't actually watch any of it, but I heard in the like the press conference or whatever, he was like, he came back and apologized afterwards, and like, you know, it's totally fine, all that.
Yeah.
I guess Travis Kelce was saying that he was telling him how much he loved him,
Sure.
which clearly was not what was going on.
What if it was, though? Can you imagine that? I fucking love you!
Listen, all I'm saying.
While your team's down 10-0.
Yeah, one catch, one reception, 1 yard. This is the best day of my life.
Listen, what he did, would you have done that? Was that acceptable? Maybe not. But also, does Andy Reid seem mad about it? No. Everybody else kind of seems mad about it.
Exactly.
You know?
And look,
you're literally watching a sport where people are hitting each other in the heads constantly. It's like, there's a lot going on.
He's arguably the greatest, like one of the greatest, if not the greatest tight end ever, and he's probably going up there like, dude, throw me the ball.
Yeah.
Like, get me the ball. Like, we're not, and I understand it, even though when I saw it, I was like, ooh, that is not a great look.
I mean, it's not a great look, but,
So Taylor's got to look forward to.
Sure.
No, sure. We all know she wears the pants in that relationship.
Yeah, sure he brings that home to her. Are you kidding me? No way. Cody, response?
I had the same look that she had when he started singing Viva Las Vegas or whatever after the fucking.
You're going to
at
sit
the
there.
end.
I was like, oh my. First he did, he's like, Viva Las Vegas. I'm like, please stop there. And then he did it again. And then I was like, oh my God, he's going to sing the whole fucking chorus.
He just won the Super Bowl.
Leave the singing
He just
to
won
me.
the Super Bowl.
He did the same shit last year. I forget what. He sang the Beastie Boys song last year too. It's like, dude, come on. You do karaoke every year. Wanger's Karaoke, Volume 5, coming soon.
Sound like a hater, Cody.
Check it out.
Sound like a hater.
Kelsey's coming in.
Anyways, do you have a favorite moment from Schmoedown in general? Because I think one that I can remember, I think you might have been involved in. It's a good thing. I think Houston, you were at the Houston one at Booker T's.
Oh,
yeah.
That one was pretty cool because I usually man the camera for like the entrances and stuff. And usually I would just be stationed. I'd be like sitting there and then follow them, whatever. This time I got to be like, I got to roam around and like I got to do it while Booker was coming down the entryway. And I was like, oh, this is... I was never huge on wrestling, but when I did watch it, it was during the Booker T era.
Him and I came out together, if I remember correctly, which I was like, I did grow up watching wrestling, so I was trying not to geek out the whole time. Also, that was another time when Papa Ellis came out and yelled at me.
I think yes. I think because you guys were like jumping on the...
Well, no, so like Ben and I had just gotten there because you guys had already been there with, I think, maybe the previous match, or you guys were, I don't know.
Probably
you guys
like
had already...
I remember the setup for that
stuff.
was very frustrating.
And like had already had like a safety meeting, and then like Ben and I roll in, and like the first
Doing
thing I do
suplexes.
is I go and flat back on the. He's like, God damn it, Guy! And
It was a really loud pop when you did it.
Yeah.
It was like bam,
and he was
it's
like,
we know.
And like I was in my mind, I'm like, look,
yeah.
man, I'm rehearsing. This is me rehearsing because I was gonna take a chair to the head or whatever, and like all that.
Is
stuff
that what you
was,
did on that one?
Oh
To
yeah,
the
Ben
back,
hit me
yeah.
with the chair.
Yeah.
It was on the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, and so like in my mind, I was like practicing my flop, but I did not know that you guys had just gone through people fucking around in there.
I think that might have been the biggest issue overall. Just communication was just shit.
Yeah.
Because we would find out stuff right when it was either happening or right before. Like, wait, what? Or the speakers don't work. It's like, you got to fix these. It's like, I'm not going to buy new speakers for the songs.
My
like, I don't
favorite
know.
thing from the Houston show was literally, I think up until 10 minutes before we started, we did not have a live stream working. It was not going at all. And there were people walking up. They were all people. Everyone that was there was so stoked to be there. It was great energy. And people would come up to me and talk to me like,
Not now.
not now, guys. This is literally code red, the worst possible fucking thing.
I felt bad too because I think that was the first time Brett had come out with us just to help as like an extra hand.
Brett helped.
I don't know if that was the first time.
One of the shows, he was like the savior. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but there was a camera issue that he totally solved.
I mean, you may not know this, but pretty much every live show, almost every live show that we ever did in a different city, different state, there was always a major issue or some kind of complication. Production-wise.
Yeah.
In Houston, I remember they weren't like equipped for audio for some reason. It was something like Brandon Hanna had to literally drive somewhere to go.
Oh, he had to
pick
go
us.
to Guitar Center to buy XLRs.
Yeah.
But that was earlier in the day.
That was way earlier.
Later,
in the day.
like we're literally about to go live, and like we don't.
Brandon's always been clutch. Brandon actually helped us on our most recent short film, and he had like the best behind the scenes photos and videos.
I was sad that he was not there on day 2. I was actually looking forward to seeing him.
I wish. There's so many things I wish we had on that, but like I wish the crew that we had on Friday was there. It was mostly just Brandon, but also there was another crew member that we had on Saturday, which we had for Friday. Wish you could have been there on Friday just to like hang out and do stuff. But Brandon Hanna is awesome. But so he saved us a bit on that one. But like it was always something that would go right up to the point where we're live, and then right when it hit like 7 or 8 o'clock, whenever we went live, we're like, it's working. Okay, go. Like every single time.
I was just saying, I feel like you guys always pulled it off.
Every
somehow.
time.
I'll tell you this.
I used to have
there
a
was
photo of
one show. I think I've told the story, but I'm not going to tell again. I'll tell you off air. I'll tell you who because it's funny. The show in San Diego. I don't know if you were there for it. It was during Comic-Con. This was 2019.
No, I wasn't there.
That one sucked.
That one, no. So listen.
I'll say it sucked.
No. It sucked.
From our perspective, the show
But-
itself was fine.
Oh,
From
okay,
a
I see what you're
technical,
saying.
from a technical production perspective, it was perfect.
Oh wow.
The people working there, everything worked. The show went smoothly. It was everything afterwards.
What was?
We'll talk
I
about
don't
it
know
after the
what
show.
happened. Okay, yeah, I need to know.
Some people
I need
got
to know.
drunk when they weren't supposed to.
Oh,
and they weren't even
I've been
involved.
there. That was like me at the free for all, the one we did downtown in LA, like on the.
Oh, I don't know if I was there for that one.
Oh,
was that
yeah.
2019 or?
Brett
Yeah, it
saved
was
the show there.
2019.
2019?
That was when
2019.
Brett absolutely saved the show.
Oh, maybe I don't think I. Oh, maybe I was.
I think
don't
you were.
I
You
was,
might have
like,
been gone.
blacked out by the time I had gone up. I answered because it's like 5 questions. I think I got 2 of them right, and I blatantly cheated on one. Like I literally leaned over and wrote it down. Eliminated immediately. It was.
Do you remember your number?
It's nice you admitted that. That's
It was
good.
no, it was pretty deep in. Like I
You
was,
could have won.
You were like the plant.
I
You were
was-
like the one plant. You're like, oh, this is his chance.
Yeah, this
and
is
it's
his
like,
chance for Guy to
Guy,
get.
what are you doing?
Can't answer anything. Yeah, I like rolled onto the stage. It was an
That's fucking
incredible
hilarious.
show.
Yeah.
For about like 5 minutes that I
Maybe I
there.
was
Yeah.
there.
It
'cause
would have
there-
been great if like we also like drank during that while we were
That was
running
the
it.
first time my girlfriend ever saw me do anything in the Schmoedown,
Oh,
and I'm
boy.
shocked she didn't leave me like right then and there.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember working one free for all before, and I think it wasn't downtown LA, unless we did it like twice.
That one that we're talking about, I remember as well. I think I've talked about this story, but one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done from a production standpoint was we had the stream up and running. That part was going great, and we had like 30 minutes left, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to the chat. Let's do that. And I'm just like,
Oh,
hey,
no.
who's your favorite engineer named Cody? All this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I realized that the space bar on the keyboard was synced up with the fade of the camera feed. So it was just like cutting back and forth every time I typed a new word. And then like after a couple of questions, and I realized like people stopped asking questions. It was more like, what the hell's going on with the video right now? I'm like, oh shit, Cody, way to go.
Wasn't there one time? Was this maybe
Yeah.
maybe it was Chicago? I can't remember, but like you know when on cameras it'll have like the red for the focus area.
Yeah.
Like
Chicago, we had the peaking on.
that's what it was,
yeah,
and it was
on the
popping
feed,
up in
on
the
live
feed too.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Did we ever solve that?
No, not for the live
Peak,
feed.
the peaking of audio, or
No, the
like
peaking of
red-
video.
Oh,
So-
really?
So when you see like a red line over it in camera, it tells you
Yeah.
whatever is in red.
Yeah,
That's what's
all
in focus.
this is because like we got there like an hour and a half
yeah, I was
before.
like, you had 37
Yeah.
minutes to
and you got to
set
figure
up.
this shit out, and like something new happens every time, and it's like,
It wasn't always an hour and a half. Usually, like
Houston, we got there super early,
Houston, we
and
got
then
there
for some
early.
reason the internet stopped working.
I remember
before we
Brooklyn.
started.
We got there super early. That was our first one though. So we were
Where?
Brooklyn.
Oh,
At the
I think I was
beginning
in the
of-
Brooklyn, or I was in the New York show.
There was 2 New York ones. There was one in Brooklyn, and then there was one in like the Upper East Side or Upper West Side. I think I can't remember.
I think
You
go to
weren't
the
at.
second one. I might have had a kid or something.
Yeah,
unimportant,
maybe.
you know, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That one was during
Bringing
the
up this
summer.
I know.
Kid.
I just kept having them every time there's a Schmoedown.
Yeah.
I can't go. I got another kid.
But I will say,
Christian.
as stressful as all those shows in different cities were, those were probably the most fun.
Oh, they were
trips.
incredible. Yeah, I mean,
after this show,
Oh yeah, yeah.
was
Everything
fucking
else,
incredible.
Yeah,
And we'd go out and hang out. Oh yeah, that was
oh yeah,
wonderful.
Houston. I still remember because like Houston is probably my favorite memory. Like beating Dan was one because like just like Cody said, like
yeah. Suck it, Dan.
because suck it, Dan. Our friendship never recovered. By the way,
Really?
Oh, really?
no, it's just like I
Let's
feel
get him
like,
on. You got him in the other room right now.
I
Dan,
love
come on
Dan.
down, buddy.
I just feel.
I mean,
Here he
I
is.
think he. Did you imagine we had that in our back pocket? He's been in our closet the entire time. Come on
I
down,
I don't
buddy.
think he knows my name. Anyway,
No, probably not anymore.
I love Merle, and like we became friends, but I felt like there was always like a cap to how close we could ever be.
I mean,
because
he took the trivia pretty serious.
Was it the
and
desk
I
jump
was just
that
the
sealed it? Yeah.
There was just so
Okay.
many things. It was just if you took something incredibly seriously and then this fuckhead comes in and not only destroys you but is just the worst person to lose to
Because
ever.
you would just rub it
And it's
in.
his first match back.
I was
like,
about to say it was his
all
big comeback match, too, yeah.
It went horribly awry for everyone. No one.
Yeah.
But
I was
he-
laughing in the booth. I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. You
Did
could
he-
see Christian's mind
Yeah.
exploding on
Like
camera.
he wasn't expecting that.
No, his whole plan fell apart because he had this whole plan
Oh,
for like
that's
Dan's
right.
trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great memory, but I think Houston is actually still my favorite.
That was a fun show. I was gonna say too. I bet you can use a bunch of the stunts that you did for like a stunt reel. Because didn't you get thrown through a table too?
I did. So I
was that
tackled
Ben?
Roca. I tackled Ben through a table.
Oh, you tackled Roca. I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think we
forgot
fucking
about the
knew
Roca
about that.
one.
Roca forgot. He because I remember when I hit him. he kind of like stood up instead of going down, and I kind of had to like
drag
help
him down
to the ground so I didn't like
No, I think
hurt
I
the
did
guy.
know about that. I think so. Maybe, yeah, someone didn't.
That was a
Maybe
rough
it
surface
real
to fall down onto, though. There was
Oh,
no
yeah.
like mat or padding or anything.
This is
That was just onto the fake
classic
hardwood.
Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Just take the hit.
Just tackle
You just
him.
need it on the camera. It's fine. It's fine. Oh,
No
man.
retakes either.
No.
But that night in Houston, you talk about like going out afterwards. We went to like this bar that like we had, I guess people had called and told them that like a bunch of us were coming. There was one waitress there.
Oh,
That's it.
no.
And we drank all of their like, I think we went through like numerous of their spirits like to the end. And she at one point kept running next door to the restaurant. I think that was there next door.
no.
And she would go and just pull anyone that was working. Be like, do you like if they were getting off their shift? She'd be like, do you want to come make like a few $100?
Yeah.
And they would just come and work. They'd never been there before, never worked there before, and they came in and they were making drinks because like we sold that place out.
Wow.
And at one point, Jake Iacovetta, you talk about a guy that like loves drinking Bud Light. We were outside. I think he was smoking a cigarette, and this dude and his girlfriend like pull up in a truck, and they like get out, and they're like yelling at each other. He's
Like that,
clearly
"Get out."
Yeah. It was, and he like was clearly getting physical. I don't
Oh,
know.
no.
And so like Jake like went to go step in, and the dude just hit him in the face.
Whoa.
And then they both
it-
freaked out.
Yeah.
And got back in the car and drove away. And so there's a picture of Jake with like a bloody nose or lip, and then I have a bloody lip from getting hit with a chair.
Oh my god.
And it's a great picture.
Wow.
Great memory.
Hey, the stars
do
at
it again.
night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
That's Kelsey next year, by the way. He's going to sing that whole song. Yeah.
Come is the guy. Anyways, wow, that's crazy. Next, I was gonna say, take me and Cody's advice. We just go back to the hotel room and drink.
That's it. Our Houston one, we went back to the room. I remember
Yeah.
that being a fun night, too. Just chill while just getting hammered in the hotel room. They
Just
could watch
getting drunk.
SNL. We're like,
Probably.
look at this
Yeah.
sketch. It's like
That's how you knew you were drunk.
Not even like paying attention. This is a sketch
Yeah,
show,
so
and
this
I'm
is fun.
laughing
Great.
at what just happened.
I think
Oh,
Ken
man.
was there with us. Was he there for
He was.
Because watching SNL with Ken was like amazing. Because he's like an SNL super fan. I mean, at least back in the day. I don't think he really watches
I was like,
it
is
anymore.
anyone still an SNL super fan?
I don't know about a super fan, but
Brian was for a
Brian
little
was
bit.
for a long
Yeah,
time.
okay.
But I've watched it pretty regularly in the past few years, I would say.
All right.
Yeah.
Just like it's all usually guest based, but it's fine. Like they have their good nights and they have some sketches. There's usually at least one funny
sketches.
sketch.
Yeah.
The weekend updates are usually the highlights of every single week because they're pretty. I feel like you can't mess that up. So
Yeah, I mean, you got the content.
got the time.
It's
There's
never
so much
ends
out there.
here.
Yeah.
That night was the night that Mark showed us his trash can ice bucket thing that he did. That was fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known that because me and Mark.
You guys hang out
We
all
go
the
way.
time,
We go
right?
way
Yeah,
back.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is it? What is this? You fill your trash can with
Ice, and then you put the beers in there.
Oh.
It's weirdly cleaner than it sounds.
Yeah.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Probably
It's,
clean it
yeah.
in the fridge for
Well,
sure.
you're not gonna throw trash in there. What
No way.
the hell is that bullshit? Yeah. I love.
Throw everything on the floor. They're gonna clean it up.
Also, just traveling with Mark is just like it's the easiest thing.
I feel like he's done it so much.
Well,
right?
he's done it so
You
much.
see like Clooney up in the air where it's just like a tiny little bag. That's all you need. And you just fucking move
oh
to
yeah, he's
the
just got
airport
like a
all
backpack
efficiently.
in his fake Oakley glasses.
Yeah.
I think they're in there somewhere. I think I have a pair. See, we're good friends.
Oh,
basically,
okay.
what
You
I'm
went to
trying
his
say.
Super Bowl party.
You want to talk about this?
No, we're not doing
We're having a great conversation, but we're talking.
What happened
We're
yesterday,
talking
guys?
positive.
What
We're
happened
talking
yesterday?
behind the scenes of Schmoedown,
It's all good.
and
We
you
can-
want
we
to
can
talk
keep
Super
telling
Bowl?
Stories. Oh, if you
Were
want
you
to.
guys
Up to you.
supposed to hang out yesterday and something happened?
I don't know, Cody. Were we?
I just, I sent out an invite, a week ago, 8 days before the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a day. A day more than a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that good for you or bad for you? I'm
I don't
confused
know.
by which point you're taking
Be
here.
precise.
If you guys, I sent you and Brian as well. I was like, you guys not do anything? Want to come over to Super Bowl? You gave me a thumbs up emoji, which
Ooh,
I took as a tentative yes.
Yeah, fair.
Sure.
I didn't have an answer then.
Then we talked about it on the show this week. Like,
This show.
This
yeah,
show here,
and
the
I was
Wanger show. You
like,
can subscribe. Check
coming
it out.
over Sunday, and then we were talking about that, and give me another kind of maybe type thing.
Well, I think I had asked you
Yeah.
who's going, and you didn't give me any names. You didn't tell
On
me
the
anything.
show? Well, I'm not going to list off all my friends on the show.
Well, I okay, then I
That's on you.
maybe I didn't ask.
Another
I
point for
definitely
Cody.
asked. Okay, keep going. 8 days.
I
Now
want
we're
to
down
say
6 if it's Monday.
2 or 3 days before the Super Bowl, he sends me a text. Hey, you still having a Super Bowl thing? And I told you yes.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I didn't know exactly who was going because my phone was broken and that was a whole thing.
It wasn't because the phone was broken yet.
Yes.
I don't think at that time.
That's why I didn't know who was all going. But yes, I sent the invites out before that.
I took that as like no one's confirmed or anything.
No, I said that because my phone is inoperable. Look at that guy. Oh, man.
That didn't have anything to do with the show.
I sent you the text. I was like, you can use whatever picture you like. My headshot, I think it's the one that's everywhere. Like, because I think if you Google me, like, and I was like, that is the douchiest. I was like, and then here's the picture.
I appreciated the headshot, man. Like every photo I get for these things, it never works because like the shoulders are cut off or like it's just the head. And like it was a perfect thumbnambel picture. Thank you for sending that over. Yeah. Did you find it yet, buddy?
Hold on.
Daniel over here, a guy always starting something. I mean. I just want to know what happened.
You're just asking questions.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I can't find it.
All right. So what you said when you asked if you having a Super Bowl thing, and I said yes. I believe I put an exclamation mark after the yes as well.
Okay.
And I said I don't know who's all going for sure yet because my phone is basically inoperable right now. And I was texting you through my laptop. It was a whole thing. We don't have to get into my phone situation. Oh yeah, go to the other one. Go to the other text.
Maybe that's what it was. The way I read it was that no one was confirmed to go.
People were confirmed at that point.
Oh, see. At that point, I was like, well, I don't want to just like interrupt their lives if it's just me and Amber going.
Okay.
I didn't
Sure.
like why would you just
anyway
want
the
us
day
there?
before he says he's not going to come down, he's going to stay here or whatever, which I was fine, whatever. But it happened to happen when other people were saying similar things. And I'm like, oh no, now nobody's showing up. And then the cherry on top was Brian, I think the morning of, sending a text 8 days later,
he's like,
replying.
Yeah, he's like, hey, buddy.
Hey, can't make it. Thanks for inviting me. Then I'm thinking, like, I almost tweeted out, like, is it me? Like, I was just like,
really
honestly, just tweeted that out. Like, what's wrong with my Super Bowl party? Why did no one confirm?
This comes from Cody's email that texted to me.
Because my phone was breaking at the time and I couldn't communicate.
I said, by the way, you still having a Super Bowl party? He said, I am. Don't know for sure how many people are coming since I've been in the dark for 2 days. Now,
that's my phone being broken.
I read that as I have shitty fucking friends that haven't talked to me in 2 days.
Look, both can be true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're not mutually exclusive.
These things have happened before. So
no, that was a reference to my phone, though.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
So,
see, again, the Schmoedown
at that
thing,
point, people were
miscommunication.
confirmed.
That's all it is.
And then, like, the day before in the morning of, people were bailing out. So I was like, what the hell? I think I'm a fun guy. Like, why don't people want to come to my party?
Andrew
was there.
Andrew was there.
Yeah, he had a fun time.
Yeah, I had to leave before the party. I had my own little thing going on. But I'm still there.
Yeah.
Truth
So
be
you didn't
told,
go?
I didn't go.
Yeah.
You went to Ellis's instead.
I was going to say,
No, I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw
that's
you
right,
and
I saw your
Ellis
photos.
live streaming last night
Yeah.
during the game.
You know,
He had a pre and post show.
he's my best friend.
Yeah.
I gotta come and say hi. I gotta go check out his Brooklyn pizza.
I have to admit, I thought for some reason in the beginning it was that you went to Ellis's Super Bowl party.
No, it would have been a lot funnier. I would have done that out of spite, just for the bit. I would have done that for the bit.
Yeah.
No, instead we just made our own spread here.
If Alice hit you up at like 11:30 to go hang out at the Comedy Store, would you do that?
I'm there.
I bet you would.
Easy.
Yeah.
That's an easy fucking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, I'll Uber.
But
yeah.
a Sunday morning drive down to Cody's place just out of the cards.
No way.
Yeah.
Because then I thought about it, and I think Amber and I have been doing this the past 2, maybe even 3 years now for Super Bowl. We love just making our own spread.
Oh yeah.
And getting drunk here and not having to go anywhere. And by getting drunk, me just keep throwing back margaritas and a couple beers. Oh, it's lovely.
This was my agenda yesterday.
Oh, I felt like shit afterwards. It was great.
Oh yeah, I woke up this morning emotional and literal hangover.
Hey,
it was terrible.
We'll get them next year. We'll get them next year.
I honestly can't even think about. I don't even want to think about even caring about football for another year.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a go-to? Because you said you make a spread or thing you order. Is there like a thing that you have to eat at every Super Bowl?
The chips and dip is like essential.
Yeah.
Like just get some, just the French onion, whatever the sour
Amber
cream,
made
the ranch.
Well, you're a
thing in
foodie
there.
too,
Yeah.
aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. Amber made like a 7-layer dip.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that on your Instagram.
It's like I didn't have any, but no.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
but she made it.
No, but it was like beans, guacamole,
Sour cream
cheese,
is in
sour
there,
cream,
cheese,
yeah.
7 layers. Yeah.
Why didn't you eat any of it?
Oh, I'm not. I don't like guacamole. It's like,
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a guacamole guy. Yeah, I'm a terrible
Really?
Mexican. I know. It's not my thing.
I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you said it.
Well, you're right. We know Cody was thinking it, and you wanted to say it, but
Cody
I said
whispered
it.
I heard
yeah.
it. It was like very quiet.
Yeah, I'm not that huge on it, but But yeah, I mean, chips and salsa. I like chips and salsa. I've been wanting to make my own salsa. Amber's grandparents made some salsa one time, and it was so fucking spicy and good. I love spicy salsa.
Yeah.
We tried it one time, and we almost died just
That's
because
how you know
the
it's
chilies were just fuming the entire room. And it was easier for her grandparents because they have a house and they can just open up all the windows. But like our apartment,
Oh, like if you make it, it'll
it's just
yeah.
like,
you're
it was like
sneezing
mustard
and, like,
gas. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I didn't make salsa. I'm trying to like get on that. But instead we just made wings.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Let me
I love
some
good wings.
solid buffalo
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah.
It was easy.
I just ordered it out. I had pizza and wings and shit.
Okay.
From down
Just
the street.
you?
Yeah. Just me. I got a very large pizza.
How many people ended up going?
Two people showed up. 2 friends.
Not worth it.
2 friends showed up.
Not worth
That's
it.
what it was. Yeah.
Especially, if
2 friends that you vibe with, by the way. You would
Gabe
have had a
and
great
Jenna?
time. It
Gabe
was
and
Gabe and
Jenna?
Casey. Gabe and Casey.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
And Andrew, who was there for the first
Andrew,
half
yeah,
before
he
he had
was
to leave,
there
of course.
for
Yes.
some
yes.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because in hindsight, Cody, I'm glad I didn't go because had I been there during
Yeah.
this game and it went overtime, I was like, fuck, I gotta be
Yeah.
here for another 15
I gotta drive a half
fucking
hour back to
minutes.
Burbank.
I'm so drunk right now. I do not want to have to stay here for another 15 minutes.
Could be home with Amber's dip that she
I
made.
know,
Damn
I
it.
know. So
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
next
that's
year.
amazing.
Sure.
Maybe you can come over here next time.
I would love to.
I'll make some.
Send me an invite.
Wings are very easy to make.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have an air fryer. You put them in the air fryer
Love
and
an
then
air
just
fryer. Yeah.
I love a
douse
good
them
air
with
fryer.
fucking buffalo sauce.
Okay.
I make a queso every year. It's like
Ooh.
and you know, it's like the best queso. Everyone loves it. And then deviled eggs. Those are the 2 things.
Oh, I love deviled eggs.
Right?
Yeah, those
Such
are
a
great.
pain in the ass to make, but they're so
yeah,
good.
it's so rewarding.
They are
Yeah.
so
What's
rewarding.
your like go-to? Because if you are a said foodie, what's like your go-to meal? Like one that
Ooh.
you just like, oh, this fucking meal fucks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that description.
Yeah.
What meal fucks, Andrew?
Yeah.
There's so honestly, if I'm going to like really impress, I'll probably bust out like some of the food of my heritage. Like I make an incredible like kimchi stew. It's it's called kimchi jjigae. But like my version, there's some, I don't know if you guys know what doenjang is, but it's like the fermented soybeans.
Oh, yeah.
So it gives it a little bit of funk. So it's a little spicy,
Okay.
a little funky, a little sweet.
Okay.
Got the meat in there, the fresh or the really silky tofu. Do that over a bunch of rice. Like that is like one of my favorite things ever. But I also know that Korean food can be like a lot for some people, or if they've never had it. The other thing that I do, I make out of this fucking world meatballs and mashed potatoes. Like not together. These are 2 separate
I
dishes.
was to say, what
I was gonna
what
say,
a
that
bold
sounds
combination.
fantastic. Yeah.
But like, yeah, because I just made meatballs we did like spaghetti and meatballs and salad for my girlfriend's mom's like birthday. It was like for 15 people. We made
shit.
enough food for like 30 people. It was like,
Whoa.
it, like when the
Goddamn.
dinner started, I was like, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm fine." She's like,
It's like
"What
the
is
bear.
wrong with you?" And I was like, "We have so much food. I don't know what to do with all this food." But the meatballs were a hit. And
Nice.
then
Hell yeah.
I have these like double garlic mashed potatoes that I make.
Oh, those sound good.
Roasted garlic
Yeah,
and then
sounds so
fried
good.
garlic chips, like all that. So those are like my favorite things to make.
Hell yeah.
All really healthy.
What did you like? When did you get that like itch to? I mean, you just always just a fan of food, and then
Yeah, I've always been a fat ass. Yeah, totally. Like I was
going there,
I was a
yeah.
chunky
You look
young
great, by the
boy.
way.
You were thinking it.
Yeah.
I
I get why you wore the
Don't
sweater
point it
now.
out. Yeah. I'm horribly insecure about it. I was definitely over it.
I really hate when people joke about it.
I'm
It's
sweating
like,
now.
it's fine when I joke about it, but when anybody else does it, I cannot handle
I
it.
could not
Oh
be
my
more
God.
upset that you brought it up.
You look
Anyway.
fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
You do. You really do.
I worked in restaurants like the whole time that you guys knew me. I was still working in restaurants. Like I only stopped in 2019. So I always like loved the food business. I was like very fascinated by it. The Bear, like when you watch that,
Yeah.
you're like it gives you PTSD, but it's also like inspiring, like that kind of shit. I love Chef's Table, but I think it was honestly during the pandemic when I like really because like you know my girlfriend and I have been together since the beginning of 2019, but like you know the first year of dating. You know, we weren't living together yet, but then once you start living together and you're like, yeah, we can't just go eat out every night. Like, that's just not affordable, not in LA. And it's not super healthy. So we started doing all these recipes. New York Times cooking is like one of the greatest $6 a month you can spend. There's incredible recipes on there. But yeah, during the pandemic, dude, I just started cooking. And like I did like a series back when Ben and I were still doing action industry stuff. It was like film food. So we'd like pick an item from a movie and we'd like recreate it. But that's like when I really realized that I was like, I actually love cooking. And like I think it was like a chef's table show where they were like, cooking is a form of meditation.
Yeah.
Which I didn't ever really think about, because it's like you always have to be so in the moment with what you're doing, whether you're chopping or you're timing or you're stirring or whatever. And I think it like helped me chill out, because I had like a lot going on in my brain during 2020. Like with like, you know, being in any sort of entertainment, like the entertainment business at all. Yeah, it was shut down no matter what you did. If you were a camera operator, an actor or a writer, anything. So that was when I like started to like, okay, I think I fucking love cooking.
Yeah. And it also makes
drinking.
It makes the meal taste better.
Yeah.
Knowing that you had like prepped it. Because I've gotten to a point, because I think within the past, probably when I first moved out of my parents' place is when I started cooking a lot more and had found like a much appreciation for it. But also over time, as I've learned how to get a little bit better, where I'm not like, how do I make this again? Where I could just like, I could just fucking do it top of my head. But now I'm at the point where I don't just cook it, but now I like clean the kitchen. So like I'll cook it and I'll fucking wipe everything down before I even eat anything. And then when I stuff my face in, I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm done.
That's so satisfying. Yeah.
It's
when
so
there's
cool.
no cleanup afterwards. The cleanup, that's the other thing is like, if you're single, I remember when I was single, I was like, I never wanted to cook. Because like, if you were like, all right, tonight I'm gonna make a bomb ass dinner, and then you're like, now I have an hour and a half worth of dishes to do by myself. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Way too full, way too drunk.
Well, hey.
That's just me every night.
A little bit of
Guys,
awesome.
we learned tonight, an hour ago, that Andrew has never been to Rainforest Cafe.
Gotta change it. Well, I
not
wanna
only
know,
never been there, not heard of it. Was not familiar with the establishment.
Man.
Well, now I see it's a Disney thing too.
Well,
It was down. Is it?
I want to know how much that can go for now, because that Anaheim,
It's an antique.
that Rainforest Cafe does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
It's I think it's like a Star Wars store now or some
What a
shit.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Fucking nerds.
Unbelievable.
They got some pretty cool
So what's
lightsabers though.
I mean, Star Wars is sick.
I love fucking Star Wars. Star Wars.
Great.
Phenomenal.
Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
So, you know, there's animatronic animals.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's not
it's very annoying.
Imagine eating a meal.
It's very annoying.
And every 20 minutes a thunderstorm goes off. And
Yeah.
like all the animals go ape shit.
All in service of just really not that great food.
Hey, you
Of
watch
course.
yourself.
It's
Their sliders are fantastic.
There's fucking sliders.
Yes.
You can't really mess that up.
There's one thing on
Yeah.
the menu
Their
that's like,
sliders and their
but the
chicken
French
tenders
fries
are good.
The French
All
fries
right,
are out
come
of
on.
this world.
Come on.
It's like, how do they make these things?
They make good
their
drinks.
rum and cokes they will blow your
Again,
mind.
drinks. You
They make
hire one good bartender, and it's like no problem.
Delightful fruity drinks.
There
They're
is
good
a
stuff.
There's a YouTuber. I send you this link. There's a YouTuber named Eddie Burback, where him and a buddy of his went to every single Rainforest Cafe in the United States. There's like 20 or something
Really?
like
I've
that.
never been more jealous of a concept that I didn't come up with than I was
They
when I saw
spent
that
literally
idea.
like 19 days doing this, and it's fucking fantastic.
Emmanuel
it's so
just
funny.
popped up out of the bushes. I was like, are we talking Rainforest Cafe?
And they said, watch the Eddie Burback. Yeah. Manny, you're reading our goddamn minds. Yeah.
I forgot I had this photo of me in front of the Orlando Rainforest Cafe. Never happier than I am in this
my
photo
God. I
right
was gonna
there.
say, you don't look this
Yeah.
happy in pictures with your child.
I'm just like, I got a drink in my hand. I'm outside the Rainforest Cafe in Orlando. I am thrilled to be alive in this
I will
moment.
say that one's a different breed.
Oh,
that one
that
is
is
just that's
amazing.
one of the best ones.
Right after this, we talked about this, I think, before the show, but right after this, when Christian called into Collider Live, and he may or may not have had a
Prank call.
prank call going on.
Oh yeah, because Harloff wasn't even hosting that one because he was
in Orlando.
He was in Orlando. That's right. Oh, it's coming back. I was super drunk.
Yeah.
In the
You said
morning? Still?
Yeah, I think it was.
it was
pretty early.
1 o'clock Eastern
Okay,
time.
so what happened was I don't know. Did we fly on a red eye? And we got into Orlando super early
because we were sleeping in the lobby.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and our plan was we landed there and we were all just sitting around and we were like, guys, should we go to Disney World? And we're like, it's early enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe we might go to Disney World. We fell asleep in the lobby and then woke up.
They're like,
in the
I guess we'll go to
afternoon and we're
downtown.
Like,
Yeah.
we'll just walk around and go get drunk. We were
Yeah.
so freaking tired.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
It's a fun time.
I love that the idea of that moment of all of you guys just be like, yes, yeah, we're gonna
I
do
was
it.
so
And then
stoked.
somehow,
I don't think
all of
Cody,
you fell asleep.
I don't know. Cody had been before. I think you had.
I had been to
You've
Disney World.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that is like a Disney guy. So
I've
he's
never
just
been
like,
to Disney World.
Oh, it's great.
I think since living in LA, which I've been here for going on 14 years,
Where are you originally from?
Oregon.
Oh,
Yeah.
the trail.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I died of dysentery. You lose. That's how I would
Oh,
always
yes.
lose in the game. Yeah.
All right. I just went straight to shooting cows and
I love
cattle.
shooting them.
I just go straight to the blacksmith. Fuck my family.
You talking
I'm
about-
gonna get some guns.
Did you guys play on the old one where it was like the green and black, or like because there was the
I
game
don't think I
after
had
that? It was
that.
actually
No,
color.
I think I had the color one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we had the OG in Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
you know.
well,
You guys
I
played that
mean-
in
Big
school,
deal.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you did, like
Yeah.
the computer class or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
it was
Oh.
like those gigantic actual floppy discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waited for that rainy day. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
What I was saying though is I think I've only been to Disneyland like 4 times in 13 years.
Wow.
It's expensive as
I mean, now it's back in the day, it was way more affordable for a pass.
I used
Yeah.
to save quarters. I'd be like, I save all my coins and just buy a pass with all
Jesus
that
Christ,
shit.
man.
Really?
I used a lot of cash back in the day. Okay.
How many quarters?
I was
do you
12
have?
years old and I didn't have a fucking credit card. Okay. I saved all my quarters for my school lunch. I was like, $2.75. Give me that 25 cents.
I was
back.
like, they have change still? I thought they just continued that. I thought it was just all car, baby. You can use your Apple iPhone.
You try to pay with cash now, people are like slightly offended.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you
get that
doing
away from
wasting
me.
my time?
Yeah.
Man? Like, you want me to count this shit?
Now I just you literally pop
Yeah.
your phone on the thing and
Yeah.
bloop, bloop, bloop. It's pretty
Does it make
cool.
you feel like you're not spending real money when you do that?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. When I almost got into crypto, felt like I was.
Oh, I got into crypto. I'm only down 10 grand
Can I-
right now. It's coming back, boys.
Hold.
Can I take a guess who got you into it?
Who?
Was it Mark Fernandez?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
plot
Wow.
twist.
Surprising.
I-
so you're doing good then.
I'm doing okay. I'm
Okay,
doing
all right.
okay. I have one friend who
Was it Finstock?
It's this
Ah,
guy
we're
named
gonna get
Max
this.
who Ben and I
Okay.
are good friends with.
Okay.
But he still tweets about it every single day. So he's been obsessed with Chainlink for like a very long time. Like, but he like made a shitload of money off it because he got into it when it was like cents, and then got all the way up to like $57. That's when we all bought in, right? At $57 a share, and now it's the highest it's been in 3 years, I think, and it's at 20. Okay, so there's a lot of money lost there. But he still tweets about it every day, and his tweets, they sound like a manifesto. He'll be like, from the ashes of society, Chainlink will rise. Like, no shit. That is verbatim, like one of his tweets. And Ben and I will just read them and quote them to each other sometimes because it's so hilarious. But, I mean, he's the one laughing at the bank. I mean,
I guess if you got in on it early, it's probably pretty beneficial. But at the time when someone was trying to get us into it, I didn't fully buy it.
You already named him.
Yeah, you did say his name.
Did I? No. Well, yeah, Fernandez was trying to get us into it.
Yeah.
He literally,
oh my God, Ben is actually here.
Oh, Ben!
That's amazing.
What up, Ben?
He's
Ben.
also outside the door right now.
Yeah, come on in. Him, Dan. Who else didn't you get around? Just name one more
Roka
person.
here?
Roka, come on down. That's amazing. Well, yeah, no, like I remember Fernandez came into our office one day and was like, everyone pull out your phones, download this app. And like we all downloaded the app and I was like, okay, put $5 in. But
No, he said,
okay.
I don't know if
I'll put your paycheck in.
He said put a lot more than $5 in. A lot more.
Okay. And
a lot more. And I said, I'm going to put $5 in because I know this isn't going to work for us. And that became my running joke the last 5 or 6
Good on
years.
you.
Here's me.
I'm legitimately down like I think $14,000 from when I started.
I downloaded the app and I was like, I downloaded it. Cool.
Yeah.
Left. Delete.
Good on
Immediately.
you.
From
Good
the
on you,
second
man.
It was
that
not a good
started,
pitch.
my $5 was worth like $1, and then it didn't go past 5. I think 2020 it had a surge, and then it was around like 10. I was like, I might cash out, guys.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then it went back down. It's never.
Yeah, because I know Frank got into it a lot too, and he
Yeah.
was probably a lot smarter because he was actually doing some stuff where he was learning about it a
I
lot.
have friends that have made so much money off of it.
You
and
can't half-ass it, which is
convinced
what we
me-
were
yeah,
doing.
yeah, for sure.
I get it. And
And
I
like-
get the general idea. That's the thing is like when it had first started popping off, no one could just straight up explain what is crypto, like what is the blockchain.
No,
and like
no one could.
nobody could
I don't
fucking
know what it is,
explain
but I believe in it.
Yeah,
Those
here.
are receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't. It's like
And the more I'd read about it, I was like, I am not smart enough to be.
I remember
doing this.
we were shooting some stuff. We went to San Francisco for like a cryptocurrency like convention, or it was some kind of business
I
convention.
bet that was a sweet room.
Well, I mean, there were types there.
Yeah.
But it was
forgot you did that.
Yeah, it was for something that I don't even think ever aired, but it was still interesting because like, okay, I'm actually kind of learning some stuff here. I still don't buy it because a lot of it was like, oh yeah, this stuff can't be regulated, blah blah blah. This is the way of the future. I'm like, okay, but like, if you can't like regulate it, like, then how is it gonna? I don't know, how is this all gonna really work? Come, last year, I think how many crypto commercials there were last year, compared how many were this year.
Jesus had more crypto, more commercials than crypto.
Jesus got into crypto too, and that's how he is risen.
Jesus and his foot fetish. There's a lot of foot stuff going on. By the way, Ben, you got to go back to the beginning of this episode. There's a whole thing about our Action Guys intro that will really
stay tuned
warm
for the end
your
of this
heart.
episode as well. I have the actual sound
as well. It makes me so happy.
It's all good things, by the way.
Yeah,
all
great
good
things.
shockingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't just making fun of us.
No, never.
Glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. Crypto. Do I still somehow believe in Chainlink? I think I do, because it's actually the only one that's gone down and then back up. But the NFT that I bought and a lot of other money, it is so... Even when I bought the NFT, I was like, I'm okay with this volatile investment. It'll most likely not make anything. But in my mind, I was like, I'm at least going to break even.
You got to be bold, man. You got to try these things.
I don't even know how to recover it at this point. That's how little it's worth.
Yeah, I feel like NFTs really just like went away.
My friend made like almost $1 million. He's still on it. He's still like every day. He's really? Like just like this other guy we're talking about, just tweeting about NFTs. But I'm into the boring investing now.
Yeah, I like real money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, what are you gonna do?
Ben says he's been worried about that for years. He's so religious. Cody's the same way.
Cody's the same way too.
So you also couldn't sleep at night. I'm glad we both cleared this up, Ben. Check out the beginning of the episode. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Well, speaking of good stuff, Andrew, you've also been doing some really cool stuff lately. Not only are you acting in really cool short films with a couple cool filmmakers.
There we go.
That
nice accent.
Will soon become. I don't know when it's going to be coming out, but we're working on the new short film right now. And Ben would be great in it, but Andrew's really great in it as well. But you've also you had a movie come out. You had 2 movies, 3. How many fucking movies? You had Always Lola last year.
Yeah.
You had a Bogota trip 2 years ago, or is that the same year?
2 years ago now.
Were those in the same year?
Well, so they like. Bogota and Lola did their festival run at the same time.
Right.
But then Lola, because of our distribution and then the strikes, it came out at the end or like near the end of last year.
Because I did see a Bogota trip. I went to the screening for that at the festival.
Yeah.
And I felt very bad because Roxy, I think, was next to Ellis, and she was like, "Are you going to my screening? It's this week." And I'm like, "Oh shit.
I only got one drive out here."
I did not know that. I would. I'll think about it.
Did you ever see Lola or no?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I didn't get a screening. No, I'm kidding. I don't. It's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon,
Okay.
Apple TV, and I think it's on like Vudu.
Okay. I like me Vudu.
Yeah.
Oh, I like me my Vudu. Shit.
I like me my Vudu too.
So you had those come out.
Yeah.
You had an appearance in VHS 82?
85.
85.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is... So my friend Natasha directed that. She's amazing, and she actually... I don't know if you guys have seen all the viral Sophie Turner, Kit Harington... Like they're in a movie that's coming out. Like they just got signed on to a new movie.
Oh, okay.
She wrote and is going to direct that.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
It's like, I saw it, like, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I started seeing like the Deadline articles and it was everywhere.
Nice.
And yeah, so I'm really happy for her. She's an incredibly talented, awesome director.
Yeah.
She directed 85. I am sad that like a lot of I'd say like half of what I did got cut.
Okay.
And I don't know if, I don't really know why. I don't know if it's because of my performance. But realistically, it was probably because there was a time crunch that they had to make with like 5 other shorts. You didn't want it to be super long. But I went to the screener of it at the Arrow in Santa Monica.
Oh, nice.
It was like part of Beyond Fest, I think. But it was actually really good. I really enjoyed.
Oh, it's great. It's one of the more, I love those VHS, especially the last few VHSs have all been really fucking good, but some of them get out there, and I love the ones that are like really out there, and that one is like out there. It was great.
It was just so cool to be a part of it and like to be part of, because like the first VHS came out like in like the late 90s, right?
No, it was like
the early
2011. I think.
Yeah, I
thought there was one that came out anyway.
There was
It's still been over 10 years.
There was a VHS like 93 or 96 or something like
94.
that. 94.
Yeah, but it didn't actually come out then.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It would be wild if they saved it for that long.
It's a 30-year investment.
like, how did they do this in the 90s? Yeah. So
they planned ahead.
So
So that was really cool.
You had VHS, and then you started on our short film.
Yep.
But then you were also in a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, which is like, there was one of the things that was cool about this was there was a woman that worked on the film, I think for maybe 1 day or 2 days, and she had told me that she moved across the country to be in a Lifetime movie. That was like her dream. And we were all having lunch one day, and she said that, and I was like, Jesus, I gotta start setting goals that like actually make me feel good, because she felt so good about it. And I don't know why I feel like slightly sheepish when I talk about being in a Lifetime movie. Because I feel like it's because whenever I say it, like people kind of laugh.
I'm sure people, or like, Lifetime movie or like a Hallmark movie, maybe people just have this like certain like, they
have an
opinion about it. But I mean,
people love that shit for a reason.
I was gonna say like those movies are popular for a reason.
Of people watch them still. Like and like the cast was all incredibly talented people. Yeah. Like never in any moment on set did I ever feel like, okay, this is like ridiculous or whatever. It was awesome. It was a really great experience. The director, Doug Campbell, super cool dude. The shoot days were amazing. We would shoot like 4.5 to 6 pages maximum.
Oh, nice.
On a day. And it was like, it was just super
Lifetime
professional.
money.
They got that Lifetime money. The locations were cool.
They got that amateur or shapeshift media money.
We shot like 14 pages a day on Lola.
That's how
it was
wild. Oh, I can imagine the shooting schedule for that and in Bogota.
Yeah, both of them were just like, it was so much.
And the movie, the Lifetime movie is called She's Obsessed with My Husband.
Which, this is, again, I'm like,
I
hope they don't hate me. Like, not that they care about, the 4th or 5th build guy in the movie, but maybe they do. It was originally called Deadly Neighbor.
Oh, I like that.
Right? And then it was My Husband's Ex. And I was like, okay, all right. And then now it's She's Obsessed with My Husband.
Listen.
And the trailer, you see me die in it. They just are like showing their hand a lot.
Okay.
But like, I was telling you before the show, like, I really like the character I play. I play a con man. His name is Oliver Matthews. And the lead of the film, she's like obsessed with her high school sweetheart. And she moves back to the town that they like went to high school in, like moves next door to him. And she's like trying to ruin his marriage and like, So I play a guy that was like a con man that tried to rip her off. Her name is Violet, played by Alyssa Filorama, who is beautiful, awesome, talented. And she like comes to me because I tried to rip her off. She sent me to jail, I guess. And then she wants to hire me to like mess with this family.
Nice.
So it's cool because half of it is me, or like half my character is like buttoned up financial advisor. Like, you can trust me. I'm a really nice guy.
Like one of those crypto bros that
exactly. Yeah. And then the other half of it is like me just trying to like, I feel like just like make his money and then like get out of Dodge. Like he doesn't want to be associated with this. He's not a bad guy. But yeah, I was like really excited about the character, and I was excited about being in a Lifetime movie because like I got to do it last year when nothing was going on. It was like right before the actor strikes, but like during the writer strikes. But the writer, I don't know, I can't remember the exact logistics about it, but like we weren't doing anything wrong, which was really hard to do last year. Like no one was like breaking, no one was being a scab or anything like that. It was like, so it was in this very small window of time with the way that it was working out with the writer and the director that we were able to do it. And it was super awesome, man.
How many days were you on set for that?
I think I did 6 days of shooting. And I think they did a total of like maybe just under 3 weeks of shooting.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, we could do that.
We could do that.
We could do 14 pages for every day for 3 weeks.
We could crank this thing out in 4 days, buddy. Let's do this shit.
We could do that. Yeah. We might be able to be the first filmmakers that make a whole feature film in like 2 days.
In literally 2 hours. Given the amount of time, the runtime.
You get one take and that's it. You better fucking nail it.
Nothing for safety.
No.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. When is it airing on Valentine's Day?
So it airs on the 15th. The day after.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's on
+1.
Lifetime Movie Network, not Lifetime Channel. Because there's like I guess they're two different things. Yeah, LMN. And I think it has like a couple like air times that day.
Nice.
And then I'm sure they'll play it a lot like over the next couple weeks. Yeah. But I'm really excited to see it. I
you haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. I have no idea. I just saw the trailer, and like I said, the trailer definitely has some spoilers in it. But yeah, it was really cool. It was. I mean, technically, I feel like it's, you know, I did For All Mankind, but I was like a guest star.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah,
the Apple TV.
Yeah.
Wow,
I was on the season 3 finale of that, but I was like a guest star. I had like a handful of lines. I think it got cut down to like just a couple lines. But in terms of like, you know, trying to like level up or do bigger things, this is like, I think this and VHS are now like the, you know, VHS, like I said, like half of what I did in there got cut anyway. So I'm like just the camera guy. But yeah, I feel like this is like the biggest thing I've done. So
nice.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
That's
exciting.
exciting.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on, and so they can see it on February 15th, and so you guys better go out and watch it.
Yeah, go watch it.
Go watch that.
Go
shit.
to your couch and watch it.
Yeah, and then besides that, what else do you have going on that you can like talk about? Do you have other stuff lined up?
I just shot
right
a
now?
big commercial on Friday, which was really cool.
Hell yeah.
I can't say anything about it.
Okay,
but it was a really cool experience. I think the idea of the commercial is like really exciting. I can tell you guys. I won't tell them when we're off air.
I'm not gonna even ask.
No, it would never break an NDA.
No.
But yeah, so that was cool because also like, you know, the last year was so, it felt like almost like being in COVID again, you know, like just like with how little was going on, you know? So like to be like right back in it. So that commercial was great. Really happy to do that. I got a new theatrical agent because mine got, I think, I think I said this somewhere else, but like Winston Marshall, he got me in my old theatrical agent.
Winston, come on down. No,
I was like, there, yes, one more. And he did that like on his own volition. Like he just did it completely on his own.
Wow.
He's such a good dude.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
And I actually really liked my old agent. She was also great, and she got me a lot of good like auditions. But then
She
during
got you
the
our short
strikes,
film. Yeah,
she did. During the strikes, she got like reshifted in her company.
Okay.
So it meant like I lost my theatrical agent. So like getting a new one at the beginning of this year, all things like feel like they're going positively right now.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah,
moving in the right direction. But
that's awesome.
Otherwise, yeah, I guess just the commercial. I had a film audition like that I turned in on Saturday, which I'm excited about. I get to play kind of like good old school Dastardly Drew on that one. He's like such a fuck, and I love characters like that.
Yeah.
And then I was telling you when I got here that I started like going to class again. I'm at Margie Haber's studio.
Nice.
She's which has been pretty cool so far. I feel like class is like one of those things that like it's good to do once every year, maybe. You know, like I don't think I want to stay in class full time, and it's not like every day I walk out of there and I'm just like, oh my God, I had I've been doing this for a really long time, and I went to college for theater. Like I've been acting for over 20 years at this point. But it is really nice to like go in there and be reminded of things and like have them like make you push yourself. So yeah, I'm just trying to like stay busy, like try to like an object in motion, stage in motion. I'm just trying to like be in motion and hope that things track.
Yeah, you're getting your reps in. Not just like you're getting your reps in literally by actually like doing stuff, but then you're practicing on the side as well. And it's just nice to keep that momentum going. And then maybe it could be something too as you get older, you sort of, because I feel that way with us just as like filmmakers.
Do air quotes.
Okay.
Say it.
Filmmakers.
Say it. Put those hands down.
Yeah.
Say it with confidence. Finger guns.
Filmmakers. The older that we get, like I don't know, I
How old do you think we are?
we're old.
Okay.
You and I have been friends
Yeah.
this year
10 years.
for 10 years.
We gotta go out
wow.
together.
We're gonna be.
Let's go to Vegas.
We should.
I got the itch after watching the
There
fucking
you go.
game, by the way.
Now
We
who's
gotta
gonna be
I know.
screaming "Viva
I
Las
almost
Vegas"
like
on the way over
I almost
there?
showed up to your place last night, like Jack at season 3 of Lost. I was like, we have to go back, Christian.
Spoilers.
We have to go back.
But no. I think the older that I get, I realize mistakes that I've made in the past to not do them again, and then just like things kind of just slow down a little bit, and then you can kind of take a look at everything and like what you're doing and pick it apart a little bit easier as opposed to just going through the motions. And I think something probably like going to class is going to help. Just sort of like, oh shit, yeah, maybe I didn't think about that in that moment. It helps you kind of unlock stuff that you didn't think about.
For sure, man. And like, I can't remember who said this, and it really bothers me, but it was like
Socrates.
Yeah, it was probably Socrates. It It was someone like Anthony Hopkins or something like that, which is basically Socrates at this point. Yeah. Some of that stupid Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
But it's like
the guy from Transformers, the Last Night.
Yeah.
Seen that one?
That dude takes a lot of paychecks, and I don't fault him for it.
Hey man,
I really don't.
He listens to death metal on the
with
side.
a voice like that. I'm just gonna credit him to him now because we've already gone down this road. But he said something about like whether it's like an actor's first day on set or their like 500th day on set, you can learn from them. And I think like going back, because like you said, I'm a lot older now. Even in the beginning of class when we were doing our introductions, there was another lady in there doing her introduction. She's like, I'm part of the older generation. You know, I'm like an older millennial. And I was just sitting there, I was like, fuck what am I doing myself? Like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
But you go in there and there are those people that are just graduating college and there is still things to learn from them, even if it's like maybe not technique. What if it's just like their general outlook on life? Like it's still positive, you know?
Yeah. The younger, it's a completely different outlook because you think about, because when were you born?
88.
88. So you're 4 years older than we are. So still, but I mean,
everywhere I go.
Sorry.
You're around the same age group.
Around that area.
You guys talk about how old you are.
We grew up in the same time.
What was it like being born in the 90s, Christian? Let's talk about it. Anyway.
Well, we're still in that state, but I mean, you know, we all have different life, you know, experiences, and we all grow up. I mean, 4 years, it's 4 years is not that much.
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
So, but we are still kind of growing up in a certain era where, I don't know, like, I mean, we've witnessed some traumatic stuff, like a lot of traumatic stuff. So it's like, maybe that's something that we could all bond with each other, you know, over, or, I don't know. I think, the older I get, and hopefully, I'm not using this as this isn't filmmakers, is hopefully getting more mature.
There we go.
It's just trying to I don't know, take every bit of what we're doing and you know, make it worthwhile and not, I don't know, take advantage or maybe take advantage. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Take everything you experience life and use it for later. That's what you're saying.
Okay. There you go.
I mean,
we're getting deep
Socrates.
now.
I mean, it is about getting more mature for sure. And I think like, you know, one of the biggest things like as an actor is that like desperation that so many of us have and the like the need to please, like to feel like you have to win over every room that you go in. And it like really hinders, I think, how good you can actually be as an actor. That like, you know, they always say that like casting directors can smell and see desperation dripping off of you. And it's very true. And I think about like when I was younger, and I think about some of the big auditions that I like blew when I was younger. And it was like, I was so nervous and I cared so much about doing what was right as opposed to doing what was like honest or truthful to me. And I feel like as I've gotten into my mid 30s now, I feel like I'm finally, like I used to always say, like, I don't care what other people think, you know, and like now that I'm finally in my mid 30s, I still care what other people think, but I feel like it's so much less than it used to be. And I feel like that really helps me do more of what I want to do and like be more of the way I want to be on film.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's harder for you as an actor because once you're wrapped, that's it. Yeah. Unless you're heavily involved with the project, if you're producing it, or maybe if you're writing or directing, you have a little bit of a hand. But it's like if you see a scene, like you see it's something that you're proud of that you worked on, you know you have scenes for it, but they get cut. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure that shit happens all the time.
All the time. And you like wonder like which take are they going to use? Because I like take 2, but I feel like the director like take 4 more. Like,
well, just to let you know, we cut your scene entirely. Just entire. It doesn't make sense for the story, but we just did it anyway.
It's just gone.
It is done. Yeah.
And like then
I bet that could be frustrating.
It is. Well, it's frustrating, but it's also like that's my job is to come and make sure that every take is like what I want to give. Yeah. And not every take is going to be that way. That's impossible, but that's why you do numerous takes. But it comes down to the director and the editor and like their vision and what they want to be in their film. Yeah. Like I'm not there to do, I mean, as you guys know, like from being on the other side of it of making and writing stuff, it's like you have this vision as a director and a writer that, you know, when you put that pen to paper or when you like storyboard or whatever, you're like, this is the way I want this to look and this is the way it should be. And every now and then, of course, you'll be on set and your actor will do something and you're like, oh, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, that's probably our favorite aspect of it is because, like, Cody writes.
Generally, it makes it better. We're like, great job. Yeah.
Because, like, we've always said, like the scripts that we write, that's not like, don't, like,
we're not auteurs.
If you come up with something
yeah.
better,
Yeah.
we're gonna take that.
Yeah.
Because that's it's not even just like it's not even like a not us being confident in the writing. It's that we love collaboration so much that we can sometimes have tunnel vision on a specific thing. Like if we want this shot to be this way and we want it to be delivered in a certain way, you come in out of nowhere having maybe read the script a couple of times. You're like, well, what if I try this? I was like, oh, fuck, I never thought of it that way. Then that's where the collaboration comes in. And that's like the heart of filmmaking right there, at least for us. It's what we love to see.
And the beautiful thing is you can get one of each, right?
Yeah.
One for you, one for me.
Exactly.
And then you'll decide in the edit which one actually looks better.
And I will say too, like, because that's a thing that I didn't think about until like, you know, way later. Maybe like when we started making short films in like 2019, as we kind of kept going. It was easier because it was just like Cody and Brian in the short films. And it's like, they're doing what they can, you know? They are. And like, Because I can imagine you like, or any actor watching their thing, it's like, oh, the other take was so much better. But from like the editor or the writer director perspective, it's like, well, sometimes it's like, oh, this take was good, but this reaction was a little bit better. Or like, oh, there was a shadow there, there was this there. So there's like so many different things that like go into it.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever like gone to a director and been like, dude, why'd you use that take? Maybe that's in like
no,
maybe that's
not quite that.
You can do that.
You
with
ever
us.
punched a director in the face because of the take usage?
I have had moments on films where like when we're doing something on set and the director's like, I want you to do this thing. And I'm like, I don't really think that's what they would do. I don't understand it. And they're like, well, you know, can you just do it for me? And then you're like, well, yeah, I mean, that's my job, right? Like, that's why I was hired, is to do this thing for you. So, like, and then they end up using it, and, like, and like, it ends up, in my mind, at least the example I'm thinking of, and I'm not going to say it because there's no reason to do that, because I'm very grateful for anything that I've been in. Right. But, like, I've had moments on set where, like, the director is pushing for this idea of, like, what they want something to look like. And then when you do it, it just comes off disingenuous. And then you watch it on the film and you're like, and it's funny because I've even had people say this to me about this specific performance where they're like, the only moment where I was like a little taken out of it was when you did this thing. And I was like, God damn it.
Was it?
Oh, like, that was the thing.
Was it Elves on the Shelf?
It was Elves on the Shelf. I didn't want to say it was Elves on the
Turkey
Shelf.
and the hot cocoa, wasn't it?
I had a choice. I had a vision. Okay, I had a very
more chicken
specific
in hot chocolate.
Listen, I break the 180 sometimes. It's okay. I don't care about it that much.
That shoot was fun, man. That was a fun
super
one.
fucking fun.
Yeah.
That day, I remember going home and telling my girlfriend, I was like, I don't care what the fuck those guys do. I had such a blast. I was like,
I'm so happy.
We were
I was like, we
laughing.
laughed so much.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
that's
think-
exactly what it should feel like when you're making a comedy.
That was the first time we had worked together, and I think it might have been when I saw a Bogota trip. I was like, oh fuck,
you texted me after you watched it.
Yeah.
You said some really nice things.
I don't
and
think
you,
that's true.
We should collab.
I lied.
I
was drunk.
I actually have it framed
You
on the
say,
wall.
son of a bitch.
Bring it out.
That's why I never. See a giant text bubble come out.
It's the new
Hi.
thumbnail of the video.
Hi, you guys.
Heyo.
I'm the Apple text bubble. Yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, because I think we had been cool for a minute now, like, you know, post Schmoedown and stuff. Even like towards the end of Schmoedown, like as it was sort of wrapping up, or at least leaving the Schmoedown, you know, it's always like, hey, what's up, Andrew? You know, like there was never any, like, even in the beginning, I joke earlier, it's like I never like hated really anybody. Well, I mean, a couple, but not like, you know, anything like that. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh fuck, dude, he's really good. I would love to, like, you. There was something in you that I saw. I was like, oh, he reminds me of somebody. I don't know who. And then just recently, I watched Nope. You were the actor. What's his name? Daniel Padilla,
The Circuit City guy?
Not.
Oh, I was
you
like,
know Daniel Kaluuya. No,
Oh.
I'm kidding. No.
No.
The
Circuit City guy.
not the
kid?
Circuit City. The
Or
shit. The place that shut down.
Fries.
The
I'm
Fries.
sorry. I don't know why I said
electronic
Circuit
guy.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fries is what
it's
it is,
Daniel or Padilla, something
Yeah,
like
yeah, I know
that.
who you're talking about.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw him, like, wow, you guys have like this similar kind of cadence to each other, and I was like, this guy reminds me of someone. I don't know who. I was like, oh, he fucking reminds me of Andrew a little bit. Like he has this sort of like fun, playful. Like he can be serious, but then like when he's a lot more playful, like he just kind of lets loose, kind of like what you were saying earlier, how you kind of like to play the more, because I'm sure it's a lot more fun to be a little bit, you know, villainy or dastardly or deranged. That was the word.
Deranged. Yeah.
So I when I wrote Elves on the Shelves, I was like, I think Andrew could be really fun in this. And I think I was the most nervous on that because we hadn't worked together. And I was like, I don't know what he's like. I don't know if he's gonna think
he's gonna talk shit.
I don't know if he's gonna think I'm a fucking amateur.
Probably talking shit about us.
Yeah. Because like Brian, I was like, I've worked with Brian before. I've worked with Alex before. That's fucking no problem. But it was almost like a tester. I was like, just to kind of see like, okay, how much can we really do here? And the whole time we were just having so much fucking fun.
We laughed like for an hour while doing that final scene with the chicken and the cocoa.
Today,
20 seconds of footage.
Today I was just watching like the bloopers of that, and we were just fucking cracking up the whole time.
Everyone, Brian and Marzonia were so good in that. They were both so good. That was such a fun shoot, and we'd never worked together outside of Schmoedown, and you sent me your the original Elves on the Shelves, right? The first one.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and it's like, just to pat you on the back a little bit, is like I see every single thing that you do. It's like the production quality of it seems like it goes like 10x.
Well, that one, it was literally just me and Alex.
Right.
It was just me. And even when we did Elves on the Shelves, it was... Brandon helped us out on that one too. Cody. Yeah. It was like those ones, like... There's like a difference between types of like short films that we make. Sometimes like, I don't want to bother Remsen. I don't want to bother him in his time. I'll just fucking man the camera. I'll do this and that. I know exactly. I don't want to I know he'll light it a lot better, but it's just like, we want to get it done and very quickly. And then stuff like Dawn, our most recent short film, where it's like, okay, let's put a little money into it and, actually like set some shots up and do all these things. And so there's a little less stress when it's just like me just taking the camera and doing it, just because it just feels like we're hanging out. We're not shooting for 12 hours like super late. I probably didn't shoot that long, but it was like a 6 or 7 page script or something like that. I don't remember. But it was a nice little tester. And then even bringing you on for Dawn, it was a very smart. It was a very short role, but again, it's just like, I'm already thinking of like ways of how we can have you in like a next one that's a much bigger thing, or even a lead performance.
Yeah, and like
if you want to, you don't have
to. Of course, no, of course. I mean, that's
what if he was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. I don't know if you know I'm in a Lifetime movie.
Oh well.
But no, I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to communicate. Was just like, I feel like everything that you guys do just gets better and bigger, and like
we try.
And Dawn was cool, and like all the things that come with Dawn, the complexities to it, and the team behind it. I'm really excited to see like what becomes of it, because there's a lot of really talented, passionate people on that set.
That was probably the best takeaway I can say from it. I learned a lot from this shoot, but the one like easily positive thing about it is like everybody that worked on that thing, just not just a genuine good person, but really fucking good at what they do.
Great vibes and just
great vibes.
Yeah,
such good vibes. Like,
this is a lot about you guys and like the people that you're able to bring to it, and the people that you like, even if you don't know them, when you vet them or talk to them, and you're like, oh yeah, this is the type of person I want to work with.
Most of those people on that set, all first time that we've worked with, save for me, Cody, Remsen, and then you,
Grace.
Yeah,
and Grace.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd say most people we have worked with.
Yeah, I mean, half and half. With Grace, it's like we're working with her the first time, every single time. But no, like our special effects supervisor, our first AC. I guess that's it. No, and then Chris, who played another character, that was a first timer as well.
Your brother was great too.
Oh yeah, my brother helped us out on Scare Tag, and he like loved it. Like
really?
When he did everything on that. He was a runner. He did sound for us. Like he did so much on that one, and he loved doing it. He wanted to do it again. And then after Dawn, he was like, "Hey, what like film classes should I take?" He was like getting interested in doing it. And I was like, "Oh shit! Like fuck yeah!"
Does he want to be like behind the camera as well?
I think he loved like doing the slate. He loves doing like behind the scenes. Like I just told him like whatever classes you take, and I think they're like introductory classes, like those will help you find like an avenue like where you would want to go.
Yeah.
And then just kind of run with it. And then now that you're my brother, and if you want to do more help and it's free,
yeah, that's right. That's family.
Come on down anytime you want to help. So yeah, it was a very fun set. It was very, very stressful.
I can imagine for you guys. That was a lot to pack into.
I was nervous because like I felt insecure because like it was my
It's your baby,
script,
right?
so I was like, all these people are here because of me, and I kept hearing like all these. Like the hours that it took to get here, and I'm like, oh god, like I hope like everyone's having a good time.
I leaned
like
in.
that.
I'm like, hey,
that was in my head the entire
write
time.
I didn't write it.
I didn't write it.
So like I was like insecure about that shit, but I'm glad that like the overall experience seemed to be good for everybody.
And it was awesome.
Shooting is like my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like everything before and after, those are the most stressful moments for me. Editing, not so much because I'm actually pretty good at editing. I'm pretty confident with that. But filming is like my favorite. I love being on set. I love working with everyone. I love collaborating with everybody. And yeah, knowing that like no one was really too stressed out. Like hearing people's stories about them driving here, it didn't bother me too much. I'm paying for your gas. It's okay. Like
no, but like if we're like behind on like a scene or two, I'm like looking around. I'm like, are people like annoyed? Or, like I want to make sure everyone's still in good moods and shit like that. And I'm like,
there was one moment where I got I got close to like. Yeah. With Remsen, I was like, well, we got to get going. Like, and then we ended up catching up. And
especially because our hours on that one were so late.
Yeah.
Like, the way we scheduled it, like it was like,
and it was cold as fuck.
It was
this guy, Andrew was a trooper. No spoilers, but he had to wear a t-shirt.
I was
in freezing weather.
You know, I had to do that on Friday also. Like for the commercial that I was doing, like there was like some sweat that needed to be applied, and it was like at 8 in the morning, and it was like 40 something degrees. Yeah, and it was like every other take, she'd come back and she'd be like, Jesus, like right in the like, and you know, I think. You know, to talk about what you're saying about like when you're actually filming, and for you maybe it's when you're hearing the words that you wrote, but like every time, even in class, when I like get up to start or I'm about to start doing my thing, I can feel like my heart and like, everything like kind of, and I'm like, this is why I do this. Like, what else in my life other than getting pulled over? Probably like makes my heart, and that's for a very different reason. Yeah. But like your whole body and your heart like starts pounding, and your brain, it's like this. You have to like start like meditating almost to like calm yourself so you can do the right thing. Even though I was only in a very small part of this, I still remember I was like, all right, we're gonna do a rehearsal. This is what's gonna happen. It's like, and then when you're about to hear that action, it's just like you feel that feeling that is so, it's impossible to replicate. It's like this high that you chase every single time that you do an audition, anytime you're gonna walk on set. It's like it's just why we do it.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like we didn't sense any sort of like if there was any nervousness or adrenaline going, because like your performance comes off like so charming because you do something that I don't think was necessarily part of the script, but you kind of like mumbling a little bit, and it's just so fucking funny. It's so funny.
I was like worried.
We'll show you after.
No, it's great. Okay. It's great. Yeah.
We'll show, and then you can tell us which take that you want. We won't use. If you want a different take, we'll
strike that.
We'll consider it.
Yeah.
No, that's great to hear.
But yeah, no, like it comes off so natural, and I think that's a testament to you as an actor too, especially for how small it is. Even just us having a few conversations before, it's like, how do we want to approach this? Do we want to go this way? Do we want to go this way? We can play with both, you know. And then, I mean, Grace was super excited to work with you anyway, so
Grace,
it was like perfect, you know.
We had like the opportunity to do like a few scenes together with Dennis, who I did a short film with Dennis also.
Oh, that's right.
Recently.
Yeah.
We actually just wrapped officially on Saturday because we had to do like some pictures.
Nice.
Which was fine. It was good. It was. I'm glad that we got it.
Did you laugh as much on that set? No, I'm
kidding. I didn't. No.
No chairs.
Let's get Dennis in here.
Come on, Dennis.
You know I laughed. But like Grace and I got to do like a few scenes in Schmoedown towards the end.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, yeah, she knows what's up. She's a pro.
Yeah,
and it was really cool. And then when I saw that you guys were doing, she was the girl. I was like, hell yeah,
yeah.
Like I still cannot wait to watch it.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's exciting. Yeah, it's always a learning curve. But what did you guys feel like you learned? Like what? Not all the things, but like if there was just like one thing that pops in your mind. Well, do you want to go first?
You go ahead.
I got a list.
For him or for you?
All of us. I think all around.
I'd like to be more assertive with like not being like, okay, that's good enough.
Oh, buddy, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like I want to be like more like, hold on, let's do that again and really try to get this the way. Like, 'cause I don't like I really don't like directing. I'll never direct solo. Like I'll only do it co-directing with him.
Okay.
Like writing and producing is my main thing. But like when I'm on set directing, like I have a tendency to be like, that's good. Let's go. Let's get moving.
Because you're like worried about being too.
Yeah, I have too many thoughts going on. So like I need to be better at like, hold on, let's get this the way I had it in my head.
I have that. Yeah, I have that issue as well because we're both directing and producing at the same time. So I think I might have been focusing a lot on producing as well because I wasn't just like directing. I was like are you good? Did you eat? I'm taking people back to their their homes and stuff. And so like.
There was Andrew back inside because it's fucking freezing out here. Yeah, let's go.
Poor Grace, like the last short film we did with her, it was like 100 degrees, and now it's like 30 degrees. So it's like the polar opposite.
Next one's indoors.
Yeah. No, the biggest thing is just like I'm learning more about producing and scheduling is like my least favorite thing. Because initially I did have it for like 3 days, and then when we met together, it's like, oh, we can actually do this, and this time, this, and this time. And it's like, okay, yeah, that seems like it could work. And then you realize time doesn't work like that, and then you don't end up shooting certain things. So I think going to what Cody was saying about being assertive on like, no, you know what? Let's spend the extra money. Let's do it a third day. It's going to be a pain in the ass in the back end, but it's going to be work because we're going to actually be able to get everything that we want to do. And then, I'm not too picky. Like, I'm really not. Like, if I see it on the monitor, it's like, that actually works really good. I think I need to think more as like an editor as opposed to just, like, directing them. But again, when you're independent filmmakers and Cody and I are doing 1,000 different jobs, it's hard to just pinpoint it on one specific thing. So if like we had a producer that was like handling a bunch of these things that we're thinking of and we can just focus on the actors, it's like, you know what? That was great. Let's try this and really like, break it down a lot more. Even if it's something as simple as walking from a car to the door or vice versa, you
did a great job with
you
that.
did. It was a great walk. It was great pacing.
I've done it in real life.
Yeah, certain things like that, I think, could go a long way.
Well, that's where like so much money comes in, right? Because like you look at these call sheets for, I think about, even, For All Mankind or even the commercial I did, and there's like 200 people on those call sheets, right?
And and at most we had 12 or 13 people.
Right? And it's because it's like that other 100 people deal with this thing and that thing and the scheduling and this and the lighting and the making sure they're fed and making sure they're warm, like all that stuff so that you can just focus on what you wrote, focus on what we need, like it is crazy when because like a lot of, like you talk about Bogota Trip and Lola and stuff, it's like it's all with these guys because it was Phil and Jeff, well, and Laura, Jeff's wife, who was fucking incredible. But you guys are all wearing like 50 hats, and like you have to because at the end of the day, you want your actors to be wearing just their one, right?
Oh yeah,
and your DP to be wearing just like that, cinematography. And then obviously lighting goes with that, so it's like a couple hats there. But like you guys are the ones that have to take the brunt of all the other things that need to get picked up and who gets fed and what food gets ordered and blah, 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 blah. And the
vegetarians and there's vegans. I'm like, God damn it, man.
All that shit.
Just eat meat. No,
independent filmmaking, guys. Oh, man.
Yeah. But it's like, isn't it great,
It's worth it.
I feel so much better after the fact.
Oh, my God.
Like, man, we did that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like everyone seemed like they had a really good time and had a positive experience. And these are people that I want to work with again.
Yeah.
Like Kyrie, who was our first AC.
Yeah, he was
like,
great.
He
Life
was
changer.
So fucking like, I was like, oh, man, I wish I fucking booked you the first night. Because like
Remsen booked you 3 short films ago.
Like Remsen was like, dude, like I really wish we had him the first night because the first night he's like, I'd have to go set up the lights and I have to come set up the camera. But he's like, night 2, like I'd set up a light, I'd come back and Kyrie would be like, oh, camera's ready. He's like, okay, then let's film. So it's like it's tiny little things like that that I think will. I mean, it's only going to make us better, and the outcome is from what we've seen so far in our cuts has been really, really great. So
a lot of logistical things that we learned this time around that will be more sharpened on the next one.
Like not creating the shot list a couple nights before, maybe.
Stuff like that.
You know, maybe like we've had the shot list, but then we had conversations leading up to it that turned into scheduling meetings. Like we're going to talk about the shot list. It was like, well, let's rework the schedule here, and then the next night, so tiny things like that building up to it. My hope is like for whatever next thing that we do is just like, even though things are always going to be flying at you last minute, to be the most prepared as you possibly can be. Yeah. And then have a little bit of wiggle room for anything that changes like last minute and stuff, Yeah. That's where I want it to be. And this is all in preparation, hopefully if we can get to that level where if we have some kind of campaign for a feature film or something like that, if we get enough money, we can have the resources to like, give that job to somebody. It's like, hey, I'm going to hire you to book all these things, Scheduling. I hate scheduling.
Or we just have your brother do all of it for free.
Yeah, just make Ryan do all of it.
You do all that too?
Honestly, that was one of the things that I was so grateful to be on that Lifetime movie because, again, I am excited about it. I really am. I can't wait to watch it. But, like, Doug, he's directed, like, 50-plus movies, and I don't know how many of them are Lifetime movies. It's funny because he's also like, I don't do Hallmark. They don't get to tell real stories. It's like one of my favorite quotes ever. He's a great dude, and like again, this goes back to I think the thing in my mind of like not giving Lifetime movies enough respect, but like the reason that every day on set was so chill was because of how well prepared he was. Yeah. He had the right people in the right positions doing exactly what they were supposed to do. He had storyboarded every single thing, and he knew everything that needed to happen, when it needed to happen, and how he wanted it to happen. And like as an actor, you feel so taken care of there because not only do you get to come in and do exactly what he wants, but then there's always time to do maybe what you want if you want to do something a little bit different. But 99% of the time I didn't because it was like he already had such a clear vision of what he wanted to do. And I think it was one of these things of going on set and just being like, holy shit, like this is a guy that has complete control of absolutely every aspect of this film from top to bottom. Yeah. And never, ever did I even feel a moment of stress, like at all. It was wild.
Yeah, we're working there. We're working.
I mean, dude,
we're working to that level.
I feel like that's just like not a. I mean, I think it's because you do the same type of thing with the same people because he brings in a lot of the same crew and cast over and over and over.
I'm sure.
But yeah, it's just one of those things that he's cultivated for over like probably 20 plus years of doing this.
It's filmmaking. It's like, why do we? I think we were talking about this. It might have been with like Kyrie. Or
why are we doing this?
Yeah, no, it's literally it's like I think we were talking about this. Like, why do we put ourselves through this? Like I get it why it's like it's so stressful sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's like a fucking drug, It feels so good, It's great. You're out there just fucking making shit, and it's stressful.
You're all just getting to play.
Yeah,
like so many people, especially as we get older, it's like that is not like. No, like so many people don't get to play the way that we do.
Yeah.
You get to go out there and like make fucking anything out of anything with your friends, and like you get to collaborate on these things that then people watch and then it elicits some emotion from them. Like I was telling you, I think it was right when we got back from shooting Dawn. And I was like, my girlfriend just wanted to turn on Elves on the Shelves again. She's like, she just loved that. Yeah. She's like, it's just good and it's funny and it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah. And I think we were talking about, because I definitely have plans for like another one. I was hoping that I was going to be able to do it last year, but maybe this year because I have some fun plans for that. That I would definitely have you like front and center for that. But time will tell. But thank you. That does mean a lot because those were things when Alex and I did the first one. That was literally, I think I like texted him. He's like, hey, I don't even know. I think I had a script.
Yeah, you did.
I did have a script. Yeah. Okay, but like
I gave you a thumbs up. I was like, go for it.
That's all that I need. I wrote it in first person too before Nolan did it.
He stole it from me.
Because we did karaoke on that Friday, and then that Saturday, Alex came over.
You shot it the day after karaoke?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then released it like
a
week later, I think.
You guys are pretty fucked up for karaoke.
I mean, we're not sober for it.
Yeah, we don't fuck around.
That's impressive.
So it's like I think that was like a huge difference between like different styles of short films that we can do, because like, especially when we did our sketches, when Cody and I first started doing like sketch comedy, we never had a script. We just had an idea and we were riffing off each other the entire time. Did it work all the time? No. But was it fun?
I still think The Duel is one of our best.
Oh, it's one of the best things that we've ever done.
That's a silly one.
And it's easy to do because we just dubbed the entire thing afterwards. So we didn't have to worry about sound. That was like the easiest
The joke
thing
was that it didn't sync up with our mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then when we started writing scripts and started like kind of learning that process with each other, things became a little bit more clear and it was easier to shoot. It's like, okay, we know what we want to get now. And then so like stuff like Elves on the Shelf, like doing something where it's like a quick turnaround, you had to kind of think on your feet a little bit, as opposed to like Dawn or like our short film Scare Tag where we take our time a little bit. That's some things that I've learned, especially from editing. It's like, I think when I would do like quick turnaround stuff, or I think just in general, normal jobs, I would always have to like hurry up and edit stuff. And that's how I got really good at quick editing.
I bet.
But when I was doing Scare Tag, I was like, oh man, I was trying to figure out some scenes and I was like, wait, like I can play with it. Like just because I edit it once doesn't mean it's stuck there. I could literally change it multiple times and it can mean something else. So learning that has been really nice too. And that's what we've been doing with Dawn. I've just been sitting with scenes. I'm like, nah, this isn't really working. Let me start it here and then go from here and then see how that works, you know?
Editing is like, I always talk about these things on set that like I don't understand. Like lighting. Lighting is such a masterpiece. It is like you have to be truly so aware of what every hue does, what every angle does, what it does for the scene, it blows me away.
Yeah.
Right?
Even when you do light, then it's just like when you come to coloring, you can make it look completely different too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you go to editing and I'm like, this is the person that tells the story.
Well,
you know,
it is the final rewrite. God, I wish Cody was here for that.
Is.
He gets annoyed with that.
Because like, yeah, I mean, like you've heard actors talk about, you've heard directors talk about, like very famous people talk about like what was left on the editing room floor and it wasn't edited the correct way and blah, 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 blah. But like when I think about actually telling that story through editing, and I'm a person that has always loved trailers, which I think trailers are like some of the most like masterclass of editing. That is one of the things that like, you know, I edit my little food videos every now and then, and I think that's fun. But like being a true like master editor it's just so impressive to me.
Well, I mean, editing is the final rewrite.
There it is. There it is. He had to say it again.
I said it already. You weren't here. It's an inside joke. No, it's fun. Like I think that's where Cody and I can kind of work with each other really well, because when he writes a script, then we direct it together, and then I can edit it. Then I can kind of help give him that voice, but also like put in my voice a little bit too. And then we meet, and then we just find a part where we meet together. And I think maybe in the past, like if I had edited something and like, oh, why don't you try this? I'm like, dude, don't tell me how to fucking, like, this is what I do.
Still kind of get that.
Do I really?
I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Maybe, but I'm like,
I do all my notes like wondering if could you maybe try this? I don't ever tell you change this.
But I'm also like, but I'm right.
But obviously.
No, but again, it's like that's where the collaboration comes into play.
I was gonna say, like, how do you guys? I feel like it's got to be really nice to have a person to bounce things off of, because sometimes it feels like you just get stuck in this. I don't think echo chamber is the right word.
No,
like, where you just get like stuck by yourself. Like, I mean, even for me when I do my self tapes, watching it over and over and over, I'm like, which one is better? How is it better? Is this thing? Is that? But like to have another person with like, that is invested in it, that wants the best thing. Also, it must be really nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of, so you don't just feel like you're just talking to yourself.
I think echo chamber is the right way, because it's the right phrasing for it, because usually it's just me and Cody watching it back and forth. Then we'll involve Remsen. He'll bring in a little bit of like insight too, unlike this works this way, this doesn't work this way. Sometimes he's just really nice. He's like, this is great, The Brian was
Brian's another
always
good source.
Brian's just
Yeah.
like straight up like, oh, this doesn't work.
This is bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
you
also,
need that
We
guy
need
also.
the guy to tell him that. Yeah.
No, but I don't know.
Once again, without him, we wouldn't have made Dawn the way it was because Dawn was a third of that length initially.
Oh, really?
Initially, yeah.
It was going to stop at one scene. I'm not going to say what it is.
Yeah.
And because
When
of
the what
Brian,
happened?
Yeah.
because of Brian, we stretched it out to what it ended up becoming.
Yeah. But he also had some very weird notes on Elves on the Shelf.
Did he?
I don't remember if you remember that.
No, I don't.
Oh,
Our version?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll tell you
okay.
afterwards.
Oh, wow.
It's like, whoa, what are you talking about here? that's insane. We'd have to shoot it a completely different way. Like that's not the right notes. But Amber, my fiance, is also a very good source too because she just like does not hold back, and she can
That's
be
good.
very mean sometimes. And she can, it's as hurtful as it may be. It is a nice sort of, because that's like you do get that they have test audiences like test screenings for a reason because you it's like the echo chamber or the tunnel vision where you're so focused on it you're not really like looking at it broadly, like you're just straight on, this is what it is, this is what it has to be, and then someone comes in and is like, well, what if you did this? It's like, fucker,
Didn't think of that.
they're
Fuck.
right. Yeah.
Wait, now
You
you're gonna
know.
spend another 50 hours on that.
So there's a lot of elements that definitely do go into it, but I feel like we've found like a nice balance.
That's really
to it.
great to have all those people and all those different voices. Because like with, again, like back to the self-tapes thing, like with my partner, with Ash, she's like, it's hard because I try to objectively look at it and think, oh, is this take better? Or is this take better? But at the end of the day, I spend 99% of my life with you.
Mhm.
And if you're acting, I immediately know you're acting because you don't sound like that. You don't
Right.
talk like that. You
Right.
don't walk like that. You don't stand like that. You know, whatever it is. So it's like for her, I feel like, because we were just talking about this with this tape I sent in on Saturday, and I was like, I love it. And then I had these two final ones, and they're so, that's the other thing. Actors were so fucking psycho because you'll send two takes, you'll be like, they're the same take, right? And I'm like, no, well, this one I do this with my nose, and this one I wink with my eye, you know? And then, but she's like, we were talking about it, she's like, it's so hard for me to be objective with your tape sometimes because it's like you know, you never want to hear that as an actor. It's like you're acting.
Oh, well.
But
yeah.
like if you live with someone, they clearly know when you're not being who you are the rest of your lives, you know? And that's sometimes where that's another thing about being back in class. Like, you know, not to toot my own horn, but it's like when I go back in class and I do things and then I get like positive reinforcement, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, thank God I haven't just like lost completely this like I'm just like off in fucking no man's land because it's been so many years now, or like so many years of self tapes or however many self tapes.
It's refreshing.
It is. It's just like, okay, all right. So I kind of know what I'm doing sometimes still.
You don't need one of your players going up to the coach and yelling at him, "Put me back in! Put me back in!" You did that on set, by the way, and I was very put off.
I was
He
like,
did
you're
grab
like,
my bicep.
I
Yeah.
almost fell over.
Still haven't recovered
Great
from that.
scenes
Yeah.
are done. You shouldn't even be here right now.
Yeah. No, I love just talking about filmmaking in general. It's fun. It's stressful, but at the end of the day, it makes it so worth it.
When are you guys gonna do a feature? I know.
Well,
I mean, I
I'd
know
love
it's
to.
money, but do you have
Yeah.
like one written?
I know he's got
I
a
got
couple.
a few
He's
things.
got a couple.
Got a few.
Yeah,
Okay.
a few options. Yeah.
I mean, literally the weekend after we filmed Dawn, I texted him. I was like, I could see this as a feature too.
No. Yeah.
Done.
I already have ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to like.
But that's just one. There's a
well,
couple.
yeah.
Other
I don't want to
options.
jump the gun.
Yeah.
Because when we've talked about potential feature ideas, I think there's a little bit of hesitation. I mean, well, there's a lot of hesitation because it's a lot of
money.
pressure
Yeah.
and it's a lot of money. And I think the way that we've sort of talked about it is like, well, once we land on the script that we want to do, then we start building out a budget, seeing what is possible. And the most likely scenario is that we probably do a Kickstarter. That's why we haven't really done one before. Because no disrespect to anybody that does Kickstarters for small projects like short films, like fund it how you got to fund it. Like obviously, like you got to do what you got to do. But I didn't want us to get to a point where we're doing a Kickstarter for every project. I don't want it to like be oversaturated. I want to like really save it up to a big project like a feature film. Because who knows what that would look like. Now, are we going to do a Kickstarter for $1 million? Probably not. It's going to be very low budget.
Send in your super chats for $1 million.
Well, yeah. So please,
Yeah.
all the money does count.
Yeah.
But that's where the hesitation comes in because it's like the short film that we just did. I can see that being a very low budget, but also practical, like something that we can actually do that is lower budget but doesn't look lower budget, that we
Yeah.
can still make it look and feel like a film. And I would also want to like go Bed Bath and Beyond with a certain element of it that's not just like one thing. I'm being very vague because I don't want to say
Bath and Beyond,
Yeah.
huh?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
never said.
Using that as a
Yeah, you don't wanna
just
go-
make sure.
Yeah, you
Making
know, I
sure
don't want
you
to
s- that's
exceed
what you said.
expectations.
Okay,
How about
got
okay?
it.
all
Are
right,
we going to Bed Bath and Beyond?
I mean, we
Is that-
can. It's a fantastic store.
Are we partnering with them?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
But that I'm still in that mindset right now. Whereas it's like, I kind of want to use a short film as a concept too.
Short answer, yes.
Yes.
Hopefully, yes.
I like talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what you're saying about the whole Kickstarter thing is very true too, because like you don't want to like blow your load essentially. You
Yeah.
know, like you don't want people to be like, oh, here he is again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here he is again asking for.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
if like, I still think, I mean, people continue to surprise us because people that like watch our show or that are pledged to our Patreon that are still loyal and still stick to that. It's still very surprising to both of us that people stick around. And so I think the biggest hesitation is like, well, if we set a limit and we don't hit it, then, you know, it's going to be discouraging for us, you know, like maybe people don't really want this, you know? So then it's like, where do we figure out how to go from there? So eventually I think it will happen. Hopefully I want it to happen. But you know, we're focusing on this short film first. And then, once we finish this, then we can start talking about it. 'Cause
Shorts
I
can do a
forget that.
lot. Like,
Yeah.
I think like people that aren't in the business don't realize like, you know, short films is like, oh, it's like your fun little project. It's like, well,
Yeah.
short films can actually like really do a huge thing for like putting you on the map and showing
Yeah.
your skill set and like getting other people that do have money or other studios that do have money interested in like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm. You'll know if we're doing a feature because we're like, hey, we've got a huge favor to ask. Can you work a lot of days for very little?
Sure.
If not anything. We'll
100%.
feed you.
I've done
We'll-
that in my
we'll
life.
Maybe
numerous
get you a
times.
place to stay. You won't be in Bogota, but
Dude.
you know, you might be in Yucca Valley.
When I was 3 hours away.
Yeah.
When I was
you'll
in
stay out
my-
there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my mid-20s, I did a feature here called Bloody Eyes, and I shot it for 3 weeks, all these different locations all over LA.
Oh,
and I was in my mid-20s, so I was very poor, and I had to take all that time off of work,
Oh yeah.
and I racked up like thousands of dollars in debt during that time.
And the movie's a hit.
Movie never came out.
Oh no.
Never even saw an edit of it. Didn't even get to use footage. Like, at least give me footage that I could maybe put in my reel.
Yeah.
But like,
man.
nothing ever came of it.
I'll tell you this: if we ever brought you on for a Kickstarter-led feature film, I can guarantee you, if the movie doesn't come out, there will be a making of that will eventually become the film itself.
Yeah.
On a failure of making a feature film. It's either like a big project like making our short film into a feature, or we do a found footage where we know it can be super cheap. So. Well, yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Hey, look, I'm there either way.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do have you in mind for a couple of projects too. So, you know, I'd like
love
to
to
talk.
hear it.
But we got to focus on one first.
Yeah.
Andrew, as we're going to wrap it up here right now. Thank you for joining us
This was
here.
great.
This
Yeah,
was
this
so
was a
much
great
fun.
episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
you were so much fun.
I'm so happy to be
Yeah.
here.
You are more than welcome to come and take that 2-hour drive over here anytime you want.
I really enjoyed it.
Anytime. This is your first time. Hopefully, it's not your last time. You were so much
Definitely.
fun.
No, dude, this was such a blast. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad that we've become friends and collaborators over the years.
Yeah.
I had no idea that we would get to this point after from the original days of working on Schmoedown. But
Hey.
anytime you guys are doing anything, call me. I'm there.
Woo!
I'll do it for free
It's
until
always-
I don't need to.
No, I'm just going to cut right there. Just be like, you
He
said.
had his words.
You fucking
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
Go check out. She is obsessed with my husband.
She's obsessed with my. No, it's like, how many more words can they add into it? Yes, she's obsessed with my husband on Lifetime Movie Network this Thursday.
15th, baby.
I believe 8 p.m. is one of the
EST,
the
PT?
time. Yeah, Pacific time.
Woo.
But I think there's more. I think there's more showings. But
All right.
please watch it. Please
Yeah.
let me know what you guys
Yeah.
think. I think it's gonna be good. I
We should
really
have a
do.
watch party. We should do a commentary on it too.
Do it. I'll
Watch
watch
it live.
I will watch
Wanna
it
do a
live.
commentary
and watch
with
the
it? Yeah.
commentary.
And then we're like, oh, really, that take? As we wrap it up, run through the super chats real quick. PLD Projects. Drew and Mark were the greatest deaths for the movie trivia Schmoedown, an absolute dream to work with. We had a blast.
Yeah, PLD. Shout out to him. He helped write a lot of questions that we asked on that desk.
Okay, I always wondered where those questions came from.
Yeah, him and PJ Campbell.
Yeah, that's right.
PJ,
Yeah. Wiley, shout out to Wiley. Happy birthday again. He celebrated a birthday.
Happy birthday.
Love seeing the Schmoedown in Houston. I kind of fell out at the end of it, but gotta pick Christian and Cody. Great show.
That's right. Yeah, that's where we met. Wiley was Houston.
Delete it.
He did not make fun of my drink. He was not the guy who made fun of my drink that day.
He's like, Roman Coke, I'll get one of those.
Still
I'll
don't
get
remember
one
that
of
guy.
those.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Haskell 420. What's up, Haskell? Hey, guys. Welcome to the Wanger's Crew, Drew. This Thursday, February 15th, on Drew co-stars on LMN, Lifetime Movie Network's new movie. She's obsessed with my husband.
If honestly, one day, when I'm really rich, I'm gonna hire Ed to be my PR guy because that guy
He's very good.
Everything.
He's very good at tweeting.
He's the best.
Oh, yeah. And finally, Manny sent a super chat. Thank you, Manny. Getting you closer to that million. Hi, Andrew. Have a great weekend,
What's up,
everyone.
Manny?
I think Cody and I were talking, like, if we had like saved all of our Patreon from the very beginning and never like spent it, like
We'd have $1 million.
we probably
We would
could
not have $1 million.
not $1 million,
Please.
but we would have had enough to probably spend it on a feature film.
Sure.
But then we wouldn't have ever had all that money.
Yeah.
That's right.
I guess that did come
Would
in
have had
handy.
trouble paying rent.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, our Patreon
Yeah.
saved me during the pandemic. They know.
That was very lovely, and we love our audience. And speaking of Patreon and loving our audience, every single week we end the show, Andrew, by giving a shout out to all of our $15 patrons and up, and it's followed by a funny little soundbite.
I'm always nervous about this with first-time guests.
Oh, okay.
It's either going to go very well or very bad. We'll see.
You're just not gonna get it.
Just a lot of out-of-context sounds you're going to hear. We'll
love
see
it.
how this goes.
All right,
Got a lot of names to read off. I'm ready when you are.
Let's go.
Aaron Woodley. You've been seeing you get the Apple Google lenses, the goggles.
What were you saying there?
I meant the Google lenses Pros.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Alec Brumler Young.
Strong start.
How are they doing in the real football? Are they in the top 4?
What are you saying there,
What are you
Christian?
doing to me?
I don't know what
Is
you're
this
doing.
all last week?
No.
Oh.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Oh. Alexis Lopez. Arcadio Castellanos. That was me.
Okay. They're all you.
Arcadio Castellanos. Castellanos.
Is that Brian?
Castellanos.
That's Frank.
Billy Storley.
As we wait for that, James brings up shout out I can't fucking talk.
Bobby Mitchell. Who's the head of HBO Max or Max? David Zlazgov?
I did not intentionally do this, but all of these so far are just us not
Just
being
stuttering.
able to talk.
Yeah, we host a podcast for how long? Since 2016, and we can't fucking talk.
Can't do it.
Brian Arsenal. Oh, you said that. Sorry, Brian D. Baby, baby. Brian King.
HBO's got the hits. Have you guys went through that library? I was trying to figure out a word.
That was incredibly convincing.
Chris Jones. There you go.
No.
Yeah. Work it, girl.
That's
We're gonna,
yeah.
this is gonna be, it's getting loose.
Oh,
Well done, sir.
good job, Brian. You want it? I can fill it up for you. Cindy Perez. Hi, Cindy. Shout out to all the moms. Connor Kennedy.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Ben Bateman.
And I'm Andrew Ghai.
And we are the Action Guys.
Oh, beautiful.
So clean.
Like beautiful.
I was just about to
butter.
say, fucking cut that shit like butter. God damn, you didn't practice that. That's natural.
It was-
Elena Marie 10.
The Action Guys.
Oh,
Good God,
Jesus
man.
Christ. I'm hard. FS1138. Please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Giuseppe.
Fuck you. I didn't have that one queued up.
Come on, get
What
it
was
ready.
What was it again?
Wait.
Say it again.
Giuseppe. Gillespie. That's first time for me. Harley Payne. By the way, hit the like button, subscribe, do all those things. Please. James Lavario. Hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you're watching after the show is live. Professionals. John Noto, did I say that already? Justin Then, who on to win? Carl Soderbeck.
Not that. Yeah? I don't think so.
Cat Burger.
Oh, fuck me.
Kyle Johnson.
Oh, fuck you.
Maris Thornton. Oh! Michael Bittner.
Who do you think is winning in a street fight? Stuart Little or Ratatouille?
That's my fucking favorite, dude. Nick Wade.
Ratatouille?
Owen Hart.
Ratatouille?
Ruben E25.
He like one of those rats.
Sangley.
That's what that is. That's Ratatouille.
Senior film.
Ratatouille? No, that's them big ass rats.
Who is that?
Stephen A. Smith. Sergio Castaneda.
I mean, the Ratatouilles of the world in the New York subway system, they the ones that the only thing that could get them to move is the train. Outside of the train, people roll up to Ratatouilles. He looking at you up and down like you short. What the hell you looking at? Bust your lip, you get out my face. I ain't moving. That's Ratatouille.
Is that all the Stephen A's?
So one more.
Okay, Sheridan Ponce.
Ratatouille all day, every day.
Can you do the, I don't want to say his name, but pull your fucking
I don't know. Try.
cock and balls?
Oh, I don't have that one. Oh! I didn't cue that one up.
Okay,
No,
all right.
sorry.
Stephanie Merritt, sorry.
Stoned out of my mind, and I just finished coming.
Stefan Solosi.
Wow.
That's my go-to karaoke song.
And the day after that, he filmed a short film with Alex.
Yeah?
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
I didn't have a voice.
That's great.
Terry Stockwell. TJ Jones.
Whoa.
Whoa, it's bigger.
That thing's going to swallow a person whole.
Tyler Eklund.
So many different Spider-Man in the Spider-Verses, but not a Mexican one.
Yeah, what's up with that, Cody?
Fucking Cody.
Vin Kosha.
Women are important, Cody.
And finally, Wiley Todd.
White Tiger.
Oh, Cody.
Hey, thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Wanger Show. Please be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you've never seen us before. Go check out our other short films and sketches. Go check out Elves on the Shelves. Starring this man right here. It's fantastic. I was watching the bloopers. I don't think I ever made that live. I think that was just for the patrons. But there was a moment where you and Brian shift back together, and it was like in sync. It was perfect. I was like, and it was fucking dying. It was so fucking good. So go and check that out. Go check out his new movie, She Is Obsessed with My Husband, Lifetime Network, this Thursday, the 15th, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and it'll probably be on a couple times after that. But go watch it. Don't just watch it once. Watch it twice. Watch it a couple times. You got to watch it a couple times to fully understand it. Just watch it. Watch it all the way through. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then be sure to follow him on Twitter, on socials, all the things. There'll be links in the description.
It's actually X now, Christian.
Yeah,
no, I
come
specifically
on.
call it Twitter.
Unbelievable.
Because it's a little weird to be like, I
Unbelievable.
just posted an X video.
I don't know. I don't understand the reference.
Ratatouille.
I don't understand the reference.
What reference?
All right. Get me out of here.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys are commenting as well. That definitely helps out the show. And check out the Patreon, all those things. Oh, I touched your lead. Cody, are you ready to get us out of here?
Sure.
Bye. He's cut.
Just made that.
Oh, no way. This is us in 2020, just in a nutshell. Oh, is that two? Oh, how close is that? Oh. And once again, if you do leave a comment, you will be featured over here on the side. So leave a comment. Were you excited about the Super Bowl? Are you glad that the 49ers? Sorry. What was your favorite? Oh, we didn't even talk about Usher. Oh, he was so good.
Oh, he was great.
Fucking fantastic.
He was incredible.
Yeah.
The roller skating. I was the roller skating.
Huh.
It won it for me.
It's good. Thanks, everybody. Thank you all so
guess
much
I'll
for
come back
continuing to
over and
watch
four
with
people
us.
talking.
Make
We're
sure
all
you,
talking about 4
yeah,
different
17 different things. Make sure you keep hitting that like
The
button.
podcast version.
Commenting
going
down
to,
below
to
things.
look right.
How are you guys enjoying the